Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. I am Mike, and joining me for our game today, as always, is Dom and Rob.
Hello.
Where I get to ask them, try not to use Rob's patented expression, but instead I will say, what happened previously on the finishing touch?
Well, there was all sorts of puzzles as we entered Highkeep proper, and inside was outside. I believe we were in some weird combination of the Feywild and the Abyss, with a giant chopped off tree.
Yeah.
And when we walked towards the tree, it rushed us forward each time we took a step, until suddenly we were inside. And this time we were inside what we expected to be inside the first time, which is the halls of Highkeep.
Yes, Highkeep has it's stuck between this this partial state of Feywild and the Abyss, and there appears to be it's almost like it's growing like an infestation of this combination. The partial bits of it where that push through is particularly strong is giving off not only a dimensional anchor preventing teleportation in the area. It's also when you move through those power spots, they also has like an anti-magic feel to it, so that is particularly dangerous for Bracken at the very least. But we began exploring, and we visited a number of different rooms. It's quite an extensive entry point of the castle that we were in, and a number of the denizens of Highkeep, lords and servants alike, are kind of stuck in this
malaise.
Yeah, malaise. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah,
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Indeed, we found a noblewoman in a rocking chair, who was not an old lady, as we assumed.
It was not. Yes, yes.
No.
I was like, poor dear.
Relatively young.
She's 30. Oh. Right. Yes.
And we discovered that she was unaffected initially by the malaise that seemed to be affecting everyone else, until the new arrival to the court, the Grey Jester, made her laugh, created a descent into this state that we found her in. And then we went to another room and didn't notice a change in the hallway that we entered. But we'll come back to that in a moment. Because the next room we went into was... that escapes me. What was it?
The privy.
The privy. Of course it was the privy.
Yes, the
Where we
privy.
found somebody who was almost consumed by a field of mushrooms.
And the creepy detail is that the privy was the first time we noticed that there was like a statuette, and it had like glowing red eyes, and Bracken did a reading of it, and it had scrying magic cast through it, so it was being used as like as a means of spying, effectively a security camera in the toilets, which is particularly grim. And we did note there were other statues and objects imbued with a similar power, so we kind of assumed that most of our actions in this area are being observed from either afar or not that far, but still scrying. We came out of the toilets after some investigation, and after Conrad had like pulled one of those that person out of that mire, pulled him out of it. And then leaving the privy, we came face to face with the great lion statue that had previously been facing the front door, and now it was facing the privies. And it became clear that it was, it was watching us.
Mike tried to make us roll a spot check, but we'd already seen
everything.
And it transformed into a giant automaton, a headless one, which blasted us with lightning, and mainly lightning, but could have been various effects. Acid as well.
Could have been a lot worse. I'll be honest, I rolled very poorly on the variation. So
Yes. And Conrad and this machine went toe to toe as Bracken tried to use his lower level spells and not waste high level spells. But also didn't want to extend the fight out too long.
He used one high level spell in the form of a scroll, which he has lovely been termed "Did I summon Monster 9?" ? Did I summon Monster 9? And that was from way back that he had that. So he cast that scroll, and a monstrous scorpion rose up from the ground and proved to be completely ineffective against the terrifying mithril golem, as we came to learn it was made of. But Conrad did his thing. I think the only useful thing Bracken really did was he dropped some rocks on it at one point with telekinesis, and he made Conrad displaced, of which he has a few scrolls of that. So that meant that he had a mischance. But that, to be fair, should have been done at the start of the fight, if I'm honest. But never mind. We live and learn.
Your new spell, a spell we've never seen before, where you healed Conrad.
Yes, the Sanasto Dwemer, yes. A spell that it's like a transference spell, transmutation. It basically transforms magical energy into positive energy, which heals to the very touch. So yes, Bracken does have a healing spell, just a very expensive one.
Then we went into the once we defeated that with a after some slugging between the two, Conrad and the automaton. We went into the Great Hall, where there was dining happening, except no one was eating. And there was a show, except no one was intentionally moving.
Yes.
A reenactment of the duel between Conrad and his cousin Alexander, which had originally caused Conrad to be, I think they're saying, exiled currently.
Some are assuming an exile.
Yes.
So that's the current
Indeed.
wording, yes.
Conrad, as I recall, partially reenacted it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
And I think you delivered the same outcome, did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember what you were greeted with by the audience when you did that?
They booed me.
They did, they booed you.
Yeah. Bastards.
Yes.
Don't know greatness. Slapped them in the face.
Yeah. Theatre's about truth. If they wanted a pantomime, they should have gone to the Apollo or something. Screw 'em.
But once we'd done that, the strings were cut on Alexander, I think. He fell to the floor, did he?
Yeah, in fact, everyone in that room, Alexander, his family, your family, everyone who was in that room just dropped. Was let go.
Dropped. And then I believe we went into the dueling chamber, which had Conrad's other brother, because his eldest was taking his place in the duel, but his still older but middle brother was being stabbed something rotten by the general, who was also being stabbed rotten.
Yes, a monotonous stabbing circle, yes.
Stabbing circle. So we separated them, took the weapons off them, attempted some healing, which seemed to stabilise them, we think, but We left them in a pool of their own blood.
Allow me to rock out again to that.
What on earth is going on?
I don't know, but that's the last I'll do of it. It's a Mac thing, not a Roll20 thing. Yes, so you left the dueling room. What else happened? The high key proper.
Found the stairs that led upwards, and there was a lion on the wall. Was it a lion?
Yeah.
We then went up the stairs to find, well, we don't know what. It just seemed to open out into a vast expanse, but that's where we left it.
It opened into what seemed like the inside of a tree.
Oh, yeah.
And as you started to climb, a figure made its presence known to you. A noble, humanoid-looking Fey with a somewhat human appearance. Wild, though. Quite fierce. They wore a cloak of nettles and spider webs, wielding a crackling spear made of thorny branches and a halo of buzzing insects circling them. But they also had 4 banners strapped to poles on their backs, each one seemingly crafted from raw elements. A banner of fire, a banner of water, a banner of air and wind, and one of poison and earth. But before we jump in there, we are at a momentous, very rare occasion where at the end of our previous session, the Free Company leveled up. They have finally taken their first official level into the realms of EPIC. So, we need to roll some HP. Who wants to go first?
I'm happy to, if you want.
Conrad? Well, you're the first in my order as well, so...
Oh, fantastic. Here we go. So it's D10 plus 6 Constitution. 5.
That's a respectable...
Up to 11.
Yes. A respectable amount. And...
Due to our house rule of re-rolling 1s or 2s for health, that means that because I'm rolling a d4, I either roll a 1 and a 2, which means 3, 3 and a 4, which means 4. So I don't know why I added my modifier to that. So that is 3.
So 6.
6. Perfect. Amazing.
The creature stands looking at the two of you and then starts to talk to you both in Sylvan. It stops for a second, realizing that it's falling on deaf ears. At this point, drops into Elvish. You speak Elvish.
I do speak Elvish.
I also speak Elvish. And hear Elvish.
More importantly.
So, now starting again in Elvish. You stand within sacred bark of the Feywild. We watchers are sworn by the life of this tree to stand vigil against any who would climb towards its asylum. None but the diamond-clad have been granted such blessings. Why would a human of brambles, and one who has smirched our kind, seek to climb this grey bark?
We pursue a fetid creature which we believe has fled this way. Once we've brought down our quarry, we would happily leave as soon as you would wish us to.
The fetid one you speak of, the diamond-skinned, grey of complexion, no?
Sounds right.
This one sought sanctuary, and until willingly relinquished, will receive it unconditionally, no matter the ailment it suffers.
What was that last bit? Sorry, say again.
No matter the ailment it suffers.
What ailment does it suffer?
Corruption. But it is still Fey.
Barely.
Were it not fully or partially, we would have banished it out long ago. But we are bound by the wild and by promise to protect it, no matter the disease it brings.
I am bound by a similar promise to one of your kind. Although perhaps not spoken in words so explicitly, but she has blessed my my chain here and blessed me with a nymph's kiss. And in addition to that, the Grey Jester, which we speak of, has sullied my homeland. So, with all due respect, we will be bringing it to justice.
It appears we are at an impasse then. You see, Fey are bound to promises, just as you are bound to aging. Cannot stop aging. Cannot reverse it. We cannot break our word.
I'm afraid you have made an error. You speak as if you know us. You call me the Bramble Man. There is only a small community that know me by that name within the swamps to the north. And you seem to already know that my friend here has had a kiss from one of your kind. You know us. Is this right?
Not personally. We were informed.
And we were also informed that we are of the Free Company, the fighting force that brought down the Pale Knight in battle.
We were.
Then you must understand that this is not an impasse merely an obstacle.
The creature, its hand seems to shuffle on its spear for a moment. And perhaps it is. We are bound by promise, by word. And as with all of our kind, we cannot go back on it.
Even if your world is collapsing into another, do you see what the Feywild has become here, at least a part of it? Does your promise bend you to this inaction? Seems like everyone we meet today, Conrad, is stricken by paralysis. No one wanting to act, only stand and watch.
Indeed.
My particular life is bound to this tree. Should this tree be uprooted, I will move with it. When this tree withers, I will wither along with it.
Is this the tree that's been cut into So the top has been cut off.
Are you asking or looking?
I'll look.
The top does seem to... It doesn't seem to climb as high as potentially it might have done at some point. It looks like there's an abrupt stop. It looks as well as if it's sort of healed over itself. Some part of like a closed wound where the bark looks quite fresh, up quite high up above you in this eerie light. It is not as dark. It is not as aged and weathered as the rest of the inside of this tree. So it does look like that tree.
Okay. Conrad will gesture at the damage and say, "It appears that your tree has already suffered grave injury. I'm presuming that was at the hands of the Grey Jester."
It was not. That one was fleeing. But it brought about the calamity indeed.
What did do that then?
The abyss. Like a
Brought on
glade.
by the Jester.
Like a wave, I suppose. He followed. Soon after, like a tsunami, the abyss came crashing through. It is a shame. And I mourn the loss of this tree. But I will protect what stands of it.
We can help you protect what remains of the tree. As I've already said, we have faced the abyss before, and not only that, we are one of the few in number that have triumphed against it. You may have made a vow, but there's nothing to say we can't align our causes. But we will be bringing battle to that Jester. Jester. It is a force of malevolence, and is connected to this this blight in one way or another.
We are not here to protect the abyss. We are here to protect the Fey. And that creature is still a Fey.
Well then, allow us to go up, and we will beat the abyss out of it, and leave the Fey that remains. How's that for an agreement?
Is that a diplomacy roll?
Happy to do a diplomacy roll if you want.
I think this is the start of a negotiation, so let's make this a diplomacy roll, shall we?
Sure. Do you have a DC in mind?
Well, most are opposed rolls.
Okay.
Because you're playing against someone.
Yeah, of course. So I do have the feat of Nymph's Kiss, which means I'm treated as Fey by Fey. If that affects anything. As well as ability bonuses to charisma checks. So happy to still roll a diplomacy, but perhaps.
Well, keeping that in mind, yes, roll me a diplomacy and let's see what happens.
I don't know if you know how absurdly high Conrad's diplomacy is.
Not off the top of my head. When it needs to be a critical, it's a
Oh
critical.
my god.
I mean, you can't critical a skill, but that is ridiculous.
That's
I mean-
natural 20 for a total of 50, I believe, there.
Blarminek. And you are treated as Faye. Go on then. Pitch your argument. Pitch the winning argument.
I think he already has. He already did, and you asked him to roll. That was the argument.
Yeah, I think Conrad is going to. He will. I guess he can claim sanctuary here if the Fae are allowed to claim sanctuary. And although a foreign presence in the Feywild might not be allowed to conduct its business, somebody blessed by a Fey himself perhaps should be allowed to go and beat the living shit out of or the living abyss out of a Fey, to put it more kindly.
Were an archfey present, perhaps I would have more reason to stand against you. But I do not. Perhaps you're more fey than he is. Fine. And the spear just seems to disappear from its hand. You are granted passage.
Would you assist us in our task, or stand and watch like all the others who we've come across?
We cannot break sanctuary.
Very well. We'll see what can and can't be broken. Conrad
There
and
is-
Bracken.
There is the sound of a swarm of insects, of flies and locusts. It seems to intensify until it envelops the creature and it simply vanishes. And I will send you a picture of them later because they are awesome.
Very definitely done, Conrad. Yes, very well done indeed.
Yes, I've yet to come across a situation where being favoured by the magnificent Fae Euphoria has been a negative, to be honest, I reckon.
It is the gift that keeps on giving.
Again.
And again and again.
All night.
Hello.
Well, shall we?
Very much. I guess we're heading up to that bit at the top there, so
I mean, I do appreciate the Brackens. Conrad, you're both just hopping up. You
yeah,
start-
we're actually doing the path. It's mid-bit there. We're going
Just in
up the
case.
path. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You may have an ambush.
Roll
Prepared.
initiative. You ascend the inside of this tree, and you can feel. This is a high climb. Obviously, this is leg day, but every step moving up, there feels far more like you're back in the abyss and not in the Feywild. It feels much closer now to that sensation when you were back in the Pale Knight's domain, through that labyrinth, into the Bone Citadel. That is what it feels like at the moment. And you push forward still. But as you ascend, the lights around you dim down. Ahead of you, you can see a path that looks like it's leading out of the tree. And as you start to head towards and up and out of the tree, you find yourself somewhere else instead. And you are in a familiar location. Not only that, but you both appear to be looking out through the same pair of eyes.
Ugh.
Looking at your hands, they seem like your own, but shimmered. The sensation of touch doesn't fully reach your fingertips. The sound of an argument can be heard not too far away, and some lively discussion further than that.
In this consciousness, Bracken is going to strain his ears to see if he can hear the conversation.
Even here, you would struggle to hear it properly, apart from the occasional, what? You struggle to hear the rest. It seems like they're trying to control their volume where they can.
Did you say we recognise where we are?
You most certainly do.
Where are we?
This is the Divisier corridor.
Right.
This is the entrance corridor to the Divisier household.
Okay.
You recognise the chairs, just for those waiting. You know on your left would be the waiting room. A bit further ahead would be your father's office. And it would be the study as well, to the right. And the dining hall, straight ahead.
And can we tell where the shouting is coming from? Or the raised voices?
On the surface, you have no idea who these people are. But Conrad, you have a hunch that you're trying to remember, but you think that's your parents.
Can we go towards the sound? Do we have control over our movement?
Yeah, you should have control.
Do you feel in control?
You both feel in control.
I would feel rude because it's Conrad's is in charge of his movement. I'm just an audience member.
Well,
You say that, but your legs are moving forward at this point, Bracken.
I've always wondered what it would be like to be Conrad. I've always wanted to be Conrad.
From here, you can now hear... You don't need to make a listen check for this. Your listening seems very keen from here. There's some discourse. You actually had the family portrait repainted. You erased my son from the family portrait. Einar, this is getting beyond ridiculous now. You are erasing our son, your flesh and blood. Another voice. Everything I have done has been for this house, our legacy. Your son's mistake almost cost us everything. We were to be cast out, nothing more than the next Soch. My brother would have not done that to us. I'm tired of telling you this. Lord Andred would have cast us out instantly had I not begged. We let Conrad go. We strike him off. No story, no sword song, no portrait. End of. You are too scared to live a life away from that title and that infernal ancestry that you would cast away family. We are spoken of. The serfs still talk about us. It won't change. Banishing Conrad's memory will not fix that. It's weird because you actually find yourself moving towards the door instead.
Oh, okay.
And a hand that's not your own, as the shimmer starts to see instead your hand. You're seeing pale skin open the door. And as it does, you see inside the room. You see Einar standing behind his desk. Your mother, Sabrine, sat talking with him, exasperated. Einar turns to look at you now. Oh, great. And now this fool is just letting himself into our house now. Has Andred grown tired of you already, or did our altercation invite your trespassing? Well?
I'm assuming we can't speak.
You can try.
Yeah, well, let's just try and say anything, I guess. Just what's going on, maybe.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Einar looks at you like this. Sabrine is going... Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, sure. Let's repeat ourselves, maybe a bit slower and a bit louder, as if we're talking to somebody deaf or like we don't have control over our mouth properly.
You start to see a grin grow on Einar's face. And Sabrine's. Both starting to grin almost inhumanly large. Then they both start to chuckle. They both start to laugh. This laughter at first, it seems really endearing. It actually seems quite genuine. Tears start falling down their cheeks as the hysterics continue, but now you both feel better. They are both just laughing to the point that they're barely able to stand up now. And you feel strong, lion-hearted. They fall to the floor as they continue their manic fit until the laughter fades down into a chuckle and a weak guttural sound. And they both just fall silent. And you're still hungry. It's so deep that it reaches your bones. That wasn't enough. But you can hear conversation coming from the dining hall. Well, you know it's the dining hall, but you know it's over there at least.
I think Conrad would probably try and walk over to his parents, but I suspect that's not what we're going to do, is it?
You step into the room for a second, and then you suddenly feel that is the worst idea you could ever have. And instead you do a flamboyant twist on the spot, and you take yourself out of the room. And you instead hop your way down the corridor. Skip and a jump next to the door. Conrad, you will recognise these voices. This is your brothers. Theron's talking currently to Lothair at the moment. I still can't believe he did it. I mean, it just looks weird and empty not having him there. Lothair chips in. Do you remember Dad just have a laughing fit or something? Probably, but honestly, I couldn't care less. Should I check? Leave them. Hey, look. Between you and me, I've been talking with Xander and we're coming up with a plan. There, and if this is another one of your when I inherit the plans. Sort of. It sort of is. I know Xander and the others have their grievances with Conrad, and I know you know where I stand on the matter. But Dad has handled this embarrassingly. It's pathetic, and this is just testament to that. This picture. Honestly, I think Uncle looks on us with pity. Anyway, Xander agrees, and he's mentioned that when he takes leadership, one of the first things he will do is to appoint me new head of our family and allow me to take actions to fix it. Ah, congratulations. That's coming sooner rather than later. What about the old man then? Haven't fully decided yet. Exile, perhaps. There's a chuckle, and that chuckle is very tasty.
We'll try and walk the opposite direction, away from the boys.
Both of you, I would maybe are trying to pull yourself away from the door, but instead what happens is, Conrad, your left arm grabs one door, and Bracken, your right arm grabs the other door. Or so you think. It's just the same door, really. And it swings open as flamboyantly as you could open a door. It almost bounces back off the hinges as you prance into the room. Thank you for prancing into the room. Theron looks at you. Well, that explains the laughing, then. What got our folks going, then?
Conrad will try and say, run, just please run.
As they both just to start again so genuinely, so endearingly. And it's not until they start to fall breathlessly to their knees that you see the pain. And the rush. That spike of rapture is so nourishing. You can almost feel a numb tongue licking its teeth as the brothers drop silent.
Can I walk to the left to the cabinet?
You can.
I'd like to, as fast as possible, grab the sword and drive it through our chest.
You grab the sword. Well, you're smashing through the glass?
Yeah, whatever's fastest.
You smash through the glass. I don't need a roll for a self-inflicted wound. Bracken, are you getting involved here?
No.
Excellent. Conrad, can you roll me 1d6 plus your strength, please?
My strength.
Yes.
12.
Oh, you both take 12 points of damage as you feel
Oh,
the
no.
sword running through you both. And as you take the damage from this sword, you both blink for a second. And you come to. There's no blood on you. You still feel the pain of the impact. But you're now somewhere else. Snapping you both over. Sort of shifting off the pain. The disassociation from your body continues as you appear in an unfamiliar room. Conrad, you can give me a level check. Half your level, just to see if you may have been here before, or at least you may know.
1.
That's a D10.
Oh, yeah. I typed it in wrong. 13. Still shit.
You don't know off the top of your head where this is, but it might come to you later. You can see in front of you there's a couple of seats. There's a liquor shelf partitioned off from a bed by a set of heavy curtains. You do notice a familiar pair of individuals, Alexander and Andred Lavaliant. Andred seems to be nearing the bottom of a glass of something. For you, it feels, for both of you, sickly sweet, the happiness he's giving off. It's tainted by liquor. But it'll do, as the thought creeps out of your mind. You seem to be trailing off from a conversation long had.
Can we move to where those bottles are on the far side of the room?
Of course.
If we have control of it ourselves at this point. That's what Bracken would urge us to do.
I'm glad you see reason, Alex. And once your challenge at Night's Rest is complete, we will address the rites of proper ascension. But at this rate, if we don't act now, then Vardel will be too long gone. Conrad, I'm going to permit you another level check, because what was just mentioned is probably something you would have heard of.
Is this full level or half level?
Full level. This is like folk tale that you would have grown up on.
36.
Night's Rest. And the fact they said the challenge in Night's Rest. You know, within Levelis, there is a part, an area called Night's Rest. And it is, from what you have read, like a giant tree upon a motte. Not giant to where you've been, but a big tree by normal standards. Standing upon a motte, as if like a seed had been sprouted over a motte and bailey and taken over. What it is now, though, is a place of honoured combat. It was said in like the Second Era, there was a knight who stood and fought a dragon in that very spot. And it bested the beast by driving a wooden practice sword into the back of the dragon. The dragon was said to remain in its body slowly changing over time into a burial mound, the current motte. Whilst the sword was said to remain as years passed, decomposed into the earth, nurtured into the growth of a mighty oak. And even though that's a story, like King Arthur and St. George for us, for you, that's you grown up on the stories of knights fighting dragons, survival at Night's Rest. But the site now, some travel there believing that the spirit of the knight is there to embody the weapons. But more commonly, it is a spot acknowledged as a site of pure contest. A just location for duels, disputes, and very rarely, fights to the death. If it is an important fight, it would take place at Night's Rest. That's just running through your mind when you hear that. Anyway, Alexander is continuing. I hear they've just taken Riken's set. Andred nods. the Hag's Bay, well, the Hag buys Lord Coveticus time, and Lion's Bay buys us time. Regardless, though, I fear war on our borders is inevitable. Alexander looks quite pumped up at this. I'm ready to fight. Andrid has always seemed like a very stern ruler, but at this point he seems to drop that for a second. Don't, Alex. Don't be so urgent to die. He stands up and he puts his hand on Alexander's shoulder. You have your honor. We have never been at war. Only a handful of the lords have had that experience, but our land, our people, were innocent to bloodshed. Even I. Why do you think I've been sending you off to train, to learn? I can't lead these people when war comes. But you can. Just keep a level head. Alexander settles a bit. I wonder if he really is immortal. That's just propaganda and bullshit to scare us. I know. My mind isn't here at the moment, Dad. It's just... What if someone steps up at the challenge? What if we have another Conrad situation? We won't. And if we do, remember this is tradition. The original finishing touch.
Bracken's going to reach out a hand at this point. Is he able to do that?
What are you going to do?
He's reaching out a hand towards those bottles, and he's going to attempt to cast Mage Hand.
You attempt to cast Mage Hand.
Mm-hmm.
I will need a spellcraft check. No, I won't. I'm sorry. I need a will check off you. A will save. A will check. A will save.
Okay, well, we're still within the 24 hours, so our superior resistance is still in effect. Sadly, no will save boost for our level up. 37.
You cast Mage Hand on a bottle, or what are you doing?
It's just a swift maneuver. He basically seizes the bottle and allows him seizing it to build pressure in the bottle to the point that the cap or the cork just pops. That's all he wants to do.
You pop the bottle off the this liquor. Thank you. The two of them look at you. Andrid looks at you with a Alexander's looking at you like, but deep down you feel you've had enough of this. You're not getting any more out of them. And a part of you thinks they've had this conversation 3 times already. It's done. You feel that smile on your face drop. And that slow feed becomes a rush. They were mostly gone. It's nothing more than a snack. You've never been this hungry before. Before that encounter, you would have been nourished off little bites. The long game. A bit of humour here, a smile there. But enough not to draw attention to yourself. Now, if you don't feed, you feel the madness draw closer. Horrors can only be kept at bay whilst you consume all the joy, all of it. You can take this keep, this peak, then And you can start pushing your powers out further. Maybe even the whole settlement. Maybe more. It's the two of them.
Can Bracken do a knowledge the planes roll? He wants to determine what we are viewing here, and if we are viewing reality.
Yes. Go on.
Um, 35.
You feel this is a living memory to an extent. What this is, at least, was real. This isn't made up. But there's a small influence of maybe you're able to bleed some essence through. You're looking down and you can't see the mark that Conrad made by stabbing you both. But maybe there is some influence.
Bracken has already begun experimenting, as can be seen. He's tested his magic to see if they have any influence over this, over what they're seeing. He did make the battle pop, so there's obviously that. I suppose what Bracken's trying to determine is if they are viewing like a magical echo. Like, are we seeing the past, or are we actually somewhere where these people, these figures in Conrad's life, are actually reenacting the same moment over and over? If it's actually them trapped, or if we are seeing some kind of vision. That's what Bracken's trying to determine right now.
I see what you mean. And yes, this does feel like a temporal echo.
Okay.
But again, there still feels like there's a slight element that even though you're seeing what has happened, a fraction of you has been placed within it. Just a smidge.
So we're part of the echo, we're not part of the original events.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bracken will really think hard about those observations to ensure that Conrad also thinks really hard about those observations, thus allowing Conrad to know what Bracken knows. Yeah, and then Bracken will sort of like urge for us to leave. It seems like this is over, but we'll only do so with the right foot, because to agree, Conrad will need to do it with the left.
Yes.
And see if you're agreeing at the same time. Both feet going above. Sorry, I spoke over you there, Dom.
No, I was just saying, like, kangaroo jumps, though.
Yeah, we do a tumble check out of the room.
You coordinate between yourselves as you sort of tumble your way out of the room. But you don't step into another room. The echoes kind of... For a second, the echoes are looking upon you both as if they're scared you've seen them. The echo didn't want to be seen. And then there's another sensation. You're running. Your legs are moving so fast down a corridor. Quicker than they've ever done. Behind you, you can see Levaliant's room. But in your mind, you know you're leaving 2 others behind you instead. Behind you should be that fat cat and his patron, the Pale Knight. You're done, though. You don't want to be part of this anymore. The Feywild will protect you. But the corridor starts to turn and bend. You're lost, he says. The walls start closing around you.
No, no.
You feel hot breath on the back of your neck. Are you lost, little Sylvan? The walls morph around a figure, almost seeming to grant it free passage at will. This behemoth, still cloaked in shadows, looks down upon you. It lets out a snort of hot air. You cannot escape the abyss so easily. You are touched by it, by her. It will always be a part of you. But I can help you. I can give you the strength to stand against those who would fight against you. These 2 gargantuan eyes high above you seem to just be passing over your body, but it's almost as if it's not just staring at the shell. It's staring directly at the 2 of you. Bracken. Conrad. I have an opportunity. Power in this domain will soon shift, granting me strength to rival even Demogorgon themselves. But there is a threat. Ones causing the shift in power are strong. They are a threat. And I hate threats. And I will not bring the fight here. I am not so defenseless as the Pale Knight. This feels even more direct. I have been watching, listening. I can see they will be heading south as their passage through the abyss has come to fruition. Once I grant them passage through the abyss, I will give you the power to stand on your own. But you must do something for me. Undermine them. Shatter their foundations. Destroy everything they hold dear. The figure stands back up to its full height, its haunch legs standing straight. It gives a final, I shall watch you every step of the way. And the 2 of you blink. You look down as you're now back in your own bodies. At the top of a tree. Having stepped out. Once talking to the Wild Watchers earlier. Before you finish the climb, is there anything you want to discuss?
We know of the creature which is in charge of that labyrinth, don't we? We came across stories of the shared domain between the Pale Knight and the other thing, which I've forgotten the name of, but it's in the Ghost Labyrinth, right?
It was the Ghost Labyrinth, aka the 600th layer of the Abyss, ruled by two demon princes. One, the ancient Obliath, the Pale Knight. The other, the Lord of Beasts, Baphomet.
And it's a bull / a goat / minotaur /
patron of Minotaurs.
Yeah.
But it's, although it has the legs of a bull, it stands as a biped, a human, a Minotaur's body. Its head is a cross between a gaunt-looking bull and that of a goat. Beast-like, horrid.
It appears we didn't kill enough demons, Bracken.
We were rather focused that day, though I do seem to recall Baphomet's forces standing in our way as we delved into the abyss. Gory Strohs.
Yes.
We must, yes, we must continue with caution. That is concerning. And it seems now that power vacuum within the abyss has just been taken over by the other power of the dark.
Yes, an unintended consequence, but perhaps shouldn't have been unforeseen.
Before we do reach the top, Conrad, there is something that I would wish to say.
Go ahead.
Your words to the one that spoke in Elvish to us, that Fey, it's proved to me what I've always suspected, that you have and always will be a fine leader. If we make it through this, it won't just be your chain that will guide Highkeep in the new direction. It will be your words. It will be your directive. It's something that will be counted on in the days to come.
Well, I'm certain that any words that I have to say will need to be counselled by your words, Bracken. You're far, far wiser than I.
Well, if today has taught us anything, I've never felt closer to you. So that won't be a problem. Is there anything that you would have me cast upon you before we reach the top?
Your abilities are a mystery to me, as ever, Bracken. If there's anything you would like to cast on,
Bracken casts. You win.
I cast my new epic level spell. Yes. Bracken has got an idea of what his epic level spell will be, but this is not the time or the place. So he will make sure that there are a few things. There's a few scrolls. Quite well. He still has a massive amount of scrolls that he can use, but maybe let's just see what happens, and he'll react accordingly, shall we say? Yeah. Let's proceed.
Let's crest the top of these stairs.
Yes, you climb, you say crest the top of the stairs, and upon the healed bark, the top of the tree, you see first and foremost an inactive gate where you can see the energies of a magical gate, but currently inactive. From here, the barriers of the domain are thin. Bracken, you can almost just feel the walls of the Feywild and the magic from the abyss just bleeding out from here. The corruption passing through the walls of this dimension is coming from its heart. And you think you can see its heart slumped on the floor in front of you. The Grey Jester looks bloated, sick, gasping for air. It looks at you and it just seems desperate, like it's barely holding itself up. It starts to crawl towards you.
Conrad will speak to it. We have seen the visions, I assume you showed us, and we do hold some sympathy to your position. But if you don't release people who you have ensorcelled, we will be forced to take action, whether or not you intended it or not, Grey Jester.
It wheezes and gasps, trying to talk to you. I tried to show you help me. As it continues, another step towards you.
Conrad will turn to Bracken. Say, can you do anything for it?
Bracken is going to do a... Can I make like a knowledge arcana check to see like... He wants to see if this is some ruse, effectively. Like, he is a master of trickery himself, so he wants to determine if this is just another jape of the creature. So whatever check you feel best, it probably spellcraft or arcana, maybe.
Sense motive probably seems like the best one, but
I could do sense motive, yeah.
I'll also permit a spellcraft check or a knowledge arcana check, but I want the sense motive for one thing. So
yeah,
give me a sense motive, and you can give me a sense motive as well, Conrad. And I will give you a knowledge arcana as well.
Yeah, that's fine. I get that. It was also just to determine if there was like any illusionary aspect to this, but yeah, I'll do the sense motive first. I've got a good sense motive.
21.
But of course I roll a 2, so that is 18. Shit.
It appears to be genuine, yes.
Yeah, of course it does. Any illusionary aspect to this at all that Bracken picks up on?
There is the creature itself. What's the best way to describe it? It's like it's cooking, and it's almost done. There is an amalgamation of abyssal magic, and I will not need you to roll for this because you have all experienced this firsthand. Like the demon seeds that brought you back.
Yeah.
There is an abyssal magic on hold within the Grey Jester. There is something there.
It's transforming Conrad. Just as with the demon seeds, just as the vile abominations that are forged in the heart of the abyss. Something is waiting to break free from it. I'm afraid.
Go on.
I'm afraid I don't know if we can help him. Well, perhaps there is one way.
It gasps out a few more words. Free me. As its fingers claw desperately the bark towards you.
Can I... Well, and what, have you got a plan, Rob?
Have I got a plan?
Have you got an idea?
Disintegrate, disintegrate, disintegrate.
Spirit Master by Destruction!
I hold on as tight as I can and call it a plan. I have a sort of plan, but I know it might help us against the Jester. I have no idea if it'll help us against whatever it's turning into.
Okay. I've got a weird... The problem with Conrad is what he's good at is hitting stuff and
Yes.
being hit. So I would wonder whether or not Conrad can try and do something odd with one of his maneuvers. Out of the ordinary because of the nature of the thing and his... I guess I would try and justify it with the Fey blessing that he has. Could he attempt to hit the Grey Jester, but specifically targeting the abyssal nature of it, while channeling a strike of righteous vitality and trying to funnel the healing energy into the Fey part of it? It's a weird idea, but
let's see what happens.
Treating it as an enemy and as an ally at the same time.
Conrad, he does use energy of the Fae, so...
He's treated as Fey by Fey, which is sort of like being an ally. And he's definitely an enemy of the Abyss.
Are you going to go over there and... I don't know what the
Yeah, well,
is.
I would have to. I'd have to be stood relatively near it.
You proceed over, and I mean, like standing next to him, you can feel like the heat radiating off him, like just this abyssal energy. It's so intense, and I won't actually need to make you roll because in this moment he's technically helpless. He's unable to defend himself, so you can just roll straight up your damage and your effect.
Cool. I think before he does it, I think Conrad will say to Bracken, be ready. Is it an evil outsider? Is there any other question?
Well, elements of it, yes.
The bit I want to hit is, so do I get the bonus for
The damage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. 42 points of damage.
42?
Abyssal nature of it, and then he'll try and charge a heal spell, or the equivalent of a heal spell, Conrad's equivalent of a heal spell, into the Fey aspect.
Healing
50.
150.
Which also immediately ends any and all of the following adverse conditions: ability damage, blinded, confused, dazed, dazzled, deafened, diseased, exhausted, fatigued, feeble-minded, insanity, nauseated, sick, and stunned, and poisoned.
Jeez.
For a second, there's the impact, and then it looks at you, its cheeks no longer so bloated just for a moment. And it looks at itself. And then he sees you. I can't let them anymore. I can't let them go. Have to kill me. Bought me some time, but kill me now. I can't stop it. And then it looked. Oh, it's. No! A black ooze starts trickling out of its mouth. And then one of his arms explodes off.
I'll try and mercy kill him at that point.
You attempt to mercy kill, but you just hit a mass of writhing flesh. And it bounces and morphs around your chain as the Jester, his form stretches and elongates. Its mouth and its face just drops. Its arm now looking comprised of several tentacles. Its other arm, several tentacles as well. This creature no longer looks like the being that has tormented you for the last... would have only really been a day since you fought the simulacrums. But now it stands, and it lets out an ungodly shriek, one that sends shivers through your bones. And we'll take a quick comfort break. We will then roll initiative and see what happens on our return. So for those of you who are currently watching live, thank you very much. And for those of you watching now or after the fact, as Rob's men have told me to tell you, as always, please give us a like and subscribe. If you are watching us on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe with Prime. And we would really appreciate as many likes and follows as you can. We have been at 72 on Twitch for a very long time. If we can get to 75 and then 100, that would be great. And
3 more, and then another 25.
And then another milestones. And for those of you watching after the fact, you will be watching through on here or on Rob's channel, Performance Check. Please also give Rob a follow on there. And with that, we shall be back very soon. And we are back. And just before we jump in, we rolled our initiatives for what was about to happen during the break. So we are jumping straight in. And this horrific monstrosity of a creature for a second looks like it's going to act, but Bracken, with a critical on his initiative, leaps into the fray immediately.
Yes, Bracken's contingency will flourish into life, awarding us haste. And so that obviously gives us those bonuses. Bracken will then reach out a hand, and there will be a flourish of brilliant prismatic light as he conjures project image. So he will bring about his copy form to stand directly behind Conrad.
You should have control.
Do you feel in control?
In control.
I will put a little mark on him to denote that he's the other one. There we are.
Cool.
And then he will, at will, shift his consciousness into his projection, and he will cast bear with me 1 second. I had it right in front of me. I do apologise. He will cast Magic Circle against evil. A brilliant blast of colourful energy is quickened through Bracken's projected image, granting anyone within the circle, which is has a 10-foot radius emanating from the touched creature. So it emanates from Conrad because he was the target that I cast it on. 10 minutes per level. And it's going to provide him certain bonuses against evil, which I'm guessing this creature, sadly, is in no doubt of being. It will grant anyone good. Shut up. He's a neutral, chaotic neutral demon. It grants him a +2 deflection bonus to AC. Do you already have deflection bonuses, Conrad?
I have a ring of protection, so I think that's deflection, isn't it?
I don't actually know.
I can check anyway. Yeah, so I've got +4 deflection bonus.
Okay, so it won't give you any further protection with armor class. However, it does bestow +2 to will saves.
Ooh, lovely.
Not will saves, sorry, to saves, sorry.
Oh, just a save.
To all saves, sorry. And also, the second, the barrier blocks any attempt to possess the warded creature, or to exercise mental control over the creature, including enchantment, charm effects, and enchantment compulsion effects.
Very nice.
That grant the caster, yes, exactly. So, and then third, the spell prevents bodily contact by summoned creatures. So if it was summoning anything at all, it would also protect you in that case as well. But I don't think that's the case here, but regardless, if he does summon something in, you are protected.
Very nice.
That is Bracken's turn.
Excellent stuff. And you can see that I've given you a little aura just to reflect how far that is.
Lovely.
Great.
And the creature in front of you, it doesn't look anything like it used to. If it's trying to be a demon at this point, it's making a poor attempt. But as a free action, I need you both to make a will save, please.
Is it a spell or a spell-like ability?
It is, yes.
It's Dom's hobby.
Was it a will save, sir?
32.
32 and...
30.
Oh, Conrad. Is that with the plus from the magic circle for will?
Yes.
Then you meet it, but you do not exceed. And as such, you take 2 points of charisma drain.
Oh.
As its aura of empathic feeding just radiates off it. And just being so close to this creature is... It's that malaise you spoke about earlier. However, that just happens. The creature throws all 4 of its tentacles into the ground. And as it lets out a scream of some horrific sound and language, you feel the ground beneath you, Conrad, crack and about to burst open. As beneath you, a rift opens up.
Whoa!
Right.
I need you to make a reflex save, please.
I should have done this before, but I'm going to use Diamond Defense on this one because that looks very scary.
+2 because of the circle.
Indeed. I assume this isn't a spell or a spell-like ability, or is it?
This is a spell.
Great. 40.
40. You are able to deftly leap out of the way and not fall into it as this rift opens up and you can see erupting like a volcanic fissure, black flame shooting out of it. But you are able to take yourself to one of the squares behind you as you dodge out of the way.
Very well.
And as it does that, that is all it does, actually. That was... Yeah, it doesn't move. It's done its standard. That is its turn. Bracken again. Fuck you. Conrad, your turn.
Okay. I think I'm going to stay this side of the the void for now, and I'll use my Great Reach braces to double the reach of the chain, so I can hit it from here.
Very nice.
And I will perform a Ancient Mountain Hammer. Why not? I don't need to take anything off this because I've not suffered any actual physical damage. Does 50 hit?
That was me about to be like, I wonder what your roll. Yes. Yes, 50 does hit.
And my follow-up question is it an evil outsider?
It is.
Then that is a threat.
It's a threat.
Yes! Yes!
Say again, sorry?
Confirm it.
I would love to. 42. Only 42.
Only 42.
Yeah.
That's just a normal hit.
It's just a normal hit.
You feel you are very, very close. But that is just
sure
a
I was
normal
getting
hit.
Is that including haste? +3, +1 with haste?
Oh, no. If it's
You're
3,
You have haste on, my friend. That is 1 higher than what Michael just said.
43
yeah.
is a critical.
Yes!
Now you know its armor class. There you
Yeah,
go.
crikey, that's high. Well, that doubles everything, doesn't it?
Get that bloody table out.
Roll me a D100, please.
Oh yeah, of course. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, you can blame some people in another world. In another
I always
land.
roll low when I do a critical.
It's a standard crit.
Yes. Well, that's fine. That's what I was expecting anyway, right? Okay.
Was this a
So-
mountain hammer, you said?
It was an ancient mountain hammer.
Jesus. By St. Cuthbert's suffering.
So does that just double all damage? Just to clarify.
Except the maneuver, because you don't critical like sneak attacks maneuver damage as far as I'm aware. But the normal hit you can crit.
So what should it?
Oh really? I thought we just. Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you crit the normal hit.
Yeah,
you crit the strength damage, but like extra ones like a flaming sword, you don't crit the flame unless it's like a flame burst weapon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Conrad's trained as a burst weapon.
131.
And if I remember, this bypasses damage reduction, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
It does, yes. You can see. I mean, just describe this for me. What does this look like with your extended reach?
My extended reach, yeah. I think because Bracken has cast this circle on him, Conrad is appearing just like pure gold. Now, like light is pouring out of his mouth and his eyes, and his chain just like stretches to double its length, and just like whips over the top like one massive arc and just crashes down in the middle of the thing, like almost buckling it in two.
Like a hammer. They just arcs over, down, and crashes into this creature for an obscene amount of damage. That is phenomenal. Ow. Like, it's hard to tell because its anatomy has changed so much, but even you can see like this creature is almost like reacted as so much of it is almost split in two as it seems to reform again.
And then Conrad will drop into the roots of the mountain stance as he awaits the response.
I mean, yeah, that is... Ow. Phenomenal stuff there, Conrad. We jump back to the top of the round. Bracken.
Bracken will look at the figure, this disgusting monster, and it also looks at that huge effect that he's drawn across the ground. Can Bracken just do a spellcraft check on that to determine what it is? What that power is? Thank you. Mm-hmm. 52.
I really enjoy that the average rolls today are either 6 or 50. It's one or the other. That's epic play. It's either nothing or everything. So, you know this is a spell called Abyssal Rift.
Do I know anything about it? With a 52?
With a 52. For the most part, although it is a rift to a part of the abyss, it is a temporary rift. You wouldn't want to be in the rift when it closes, as that might be a permanent relocation. You know, the black fire that's emanating from it is not purely fire, but chaotic, abyssal, divine magic. And you know, as the spell progresses, its reach will extend.
Bracken will say, Conrad, that rift is only going to grow. You need to get away from it. Bracken remembers the Balors dropping people into gaps in reality, and he wonders if this is the very same sort of thing. But anyway, that was just a check. His turn, he will spend casting a singular spell. He lifts both of his arms high above him and begins whirling his hands around, just gonna ball your tender yell, and he creates a rift of his own.
Okay.
Or, in other words, he summons forth a pit. A illusory pit! Comes up through the trunk of the tree, spiraling into a wild maelstrom about the beast. So, illusionary pit is a level... Well, it's an illusion spell, so I get my spell casting focus on it, my spell focus. So that means it goes from my level 7 DCs, which is...
Is it subject? Sorry.
Yes, it is. Want me to roll?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I have got greater spell penetration. So we are level 21, plus 4 is 25 is my bonus.
Okay.
$40.
Blamenic. That does bypass, yes.
Excellent. So, because the Maelstrom just rips through any spell defences the Grey Jester has, the illusory pit is made manifest. And of course, fills the entire battlefield, as we determined last time. We're at 10 feet cube per level. 1 round per level, so it's just going to be there. Okay? So... As before, on a successful save, the creature will just suffer a mild case of vertigo and is simply stunned for 1 round. But those that do fail their saves fall prone and are unable to take any action except clawing desperately on the floor. That's just a bonus in Bracken's opinion, but there we are. The DC is 26. Will save.
26 will save. That is a success. So it is stunned for a round?
He is stunned for a round.
Well.
Which is basically all he wanted anyway, because that's what he did it for.
Fair enough.
That is Bracken's turn.
Excellent stuff. As you halt the Jester as it looks like it's about to lash out towards Conrad, and it seems to recoil in this blithering mass on the spot for a while.
Oh, and sorry, as my movement, because I didn't do any movement, I move my spell projection back to the edge of the
Did you say
the
you're
aura.
invisible?
No.
By the way?
No.
Okay. As part of the effect, I need all of you to make a reflex save, please.
This is the
part of the spell.
Part of the spell. Okay, cool. Watch out! Don't forget we've got haste on, so it gives you a +1 in addition to our other bonuses.
35 from Conrad.
$39.
Blood.
It'll outdo you.
You both are with perhaps Bracken with foresight, as a whole mass of black tentacles sprout from this rift, and some as much as 60 feet in the air as they come slamming into the ground, attempting to just smack into the two of you. Each hit leaves a trail of black fire and this weird abyssal energy. However, you're both able to just completely dodge it.
Wow.
Bravo. Conrad.
Are those tentacles still there?
They are, but they're constantly like moving in and out of the rift. They don't necessarily obstruct your view. They haven't. They're not going to get in the way this at the moment.
I'm just wondering whether or not it's feasible to jump over without jumping into a tentacle or just swatting me out of the air.
It's a standing jump.
Well, I can move back and then forward. I've got 40 feet of movement with haste.
Oh, yes.
Zip, zip, zip.
I mean, the DC would be, for that, 20. If you go running jump.
Yeah.
If you just do it from where you're standing, it would be just over 30.
I could do a running jump. I need 10 feet, don't I? So I could move back, fire 10 feet, run 10 feet, jump.
Yep.
Get to the other side.
You rev up.
23.
I mean, it's nice to know that you couldn't have failed that, put it that way. Even on the one, it's still enough to you just to clear that leap.
Can't critically fail skill check.
No, you cannot. The
Bracken
gods
is,
have blessed us with
sweating
this. Yes.
behind you. As, yeah,
I think he has to
critically
run over the tentacles. Doesn't really jump. It's just a run.
Do you...
just still running. He doesn't stop running, but just over them. Yes.
Bracken's gonna yell, "Keep moving! It's gonna expand!"
Yes, and Conrad will continue his movement to, say there, 5, 10, 15, 20. I can only get to 10. And then I'll do my this golden creature running, jumping over black tentacles, reaching out of the thing, rolling, swinging up with the chain, attempting a mountain tombstone strike.
Whoa.
47.
That is a hit.
48. So that is... Doesn't like that. And let's do that again with a space this time. 43 points of damage.
Does it bypass damage reduction?
That one doesn't. But he also takes... Oh, for fuck's sake, 2 points of constitution damage.
Oh, very lucky. So that...
Still down 1.
Yeah.
And yes, you are able to chip away some of its constitution, which is a beautiful thing because it always... I mean, that is unfortunate. That's snake eyes there.
Yeah, that sucks. But then I'll go back into the Roots of the Mountain stance.
Nice.
To give you some protection. And that is the end of my turn.
That is an exceptional attack. We saw you running over. We saw you just swinging that chain up. And I like to think you've just ripped off part of its body with that slice as well. That constitution just ripping off this ungodly creature, whatever it is, it's just pulling it apart.
Yeah, I think it probably just doesn't know what he needs to be aiming at? Because it's just like a writhing mass of tentacles, right? It's not.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not very obvious where the weak bits are.
It is horrible. That is brilliant, amazing. We jump back to the top of the round. Bracken.
Bracken flings out an arm and a scroll shoots up his sleeve into his hand. It unravels and then bursts into prismatic energy as it forms the image of a prismatic eye high above the battlefield to bring it forth, to bring forth the eye. Aye.
There's the one I always use.
Bring him forth.
You should have control.
Do you feel in control? He's going over here. Wait, hang on. I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, easy. Prismatic Eye will just hover in the air, high above, and it will just start raining misery. I just need to double check something because, of course, it is going to fire, but of course, as before, I need to do a spell casting check.
And it may be fine with a lower.
So no. It still is on my. This is my caster level check still. It just has its own attacks and it has its own saves. It's still my caster level check.
Got it.
So. Okay. Caster level check first of all. Do you remember what I said it was? It was 25, wasn't it? Yeah. 21 plus 4. Yeah. Pew!
It's just... if the spell just fizzles out as it gets close to this creature.
Yeah. That is my turn.
That's unfortunate. But
it is.
Lovely tactical maneuver.
It sets it up so we hopefully get some more spells being thrown on him every round. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. It is its turn. And this mass of tentacles just starts lashing out at whatever is closest to it. Conrad, what is your armor class, please?
It is, of course, 28.
28. That's first one is a hit. The second one is a hit. Oh, the third one is a hit. The fourth one, though, is a miss.
Good.
Good. As 3 tentacles slam into you. 4. For 58 points of damage over the 3 hits.
Great. So let's choose.
And I need you to make 3 grapple checks, please.
No.
3 grapple checks, did you say?
Checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
First one.
45.
That is a success. The first one doesn't make purchase on you, it just hits you, doesn't wrap around. The second.
39.
This one does manage to rip around you for a second. We'll deal with that in a second. Third.
38.
Only one of them wraps around you, and as it does, you take 1 constitution damage as it drains your health with its tentacle. As it does this, though, the tentacle only does that for a moment, and then it lets go of you as it drains your health with that grapple.
Oh shit.
Is that ability drain or ability damage?
That is damage.
Okay, that's fine. Was the charisma damage as well, or was it?
Charisma was drain.
So that doesn't cover.
It's very problematic.
That is its full attack. I need you all to make, firstly, a will save, please.
Remember, Conrad, you get +2 to yours in addition to your resistance and everything else.
Yeah. Is it a spell or a spell-like ability again?
It's a spell-like ability.
31.
36.
This time, Conrad, you resist. As the empathic drain does not affect you both. The spell now on the floor has the tentacles that are sprouting from it appear to just, oh, that's the entire map.
It consumes the world.
I do that. The rift expands inside, and even more of the tentacles shoot out and lash out at the two of you. Can you give me a reflex save, please?
Is this a spell like?
This is a spell.
Don't forget, +1 to haste. Oh, 29.
Right, I had forgotten.
In addition to the +2, in
37.
addition to the superior resistance.
Natural success, Conrad, as these tentacles attempt to slam into you, and you are absolutely fine. Bracken, was that 29 then?
I'm afraid so. I have a feeling that might not be good news.
It's not good news, I'm afraid. As a tentacle slams into you, you take 24 points of fire damage as this black fire shoots over you.
24.
And 24 points of fire damage and 21 points of divine energy as this unhallowed abyss roars into you. And Bracken, I need you to make a grapple check, please.
Okay.
As it slams into you, it attempts to wrap around you. I threw my d20 over my keyboard.
I'm so annoyed! I'm gonna throw my dice everywhere. My grapple isn't very good, so this isn't gonna be great. Lucky number 13.
Oh. Bracken, I know I was saying this, Rob, you are so jammy. I critically failed that roll. And you have to be that. I am glad I did. As its tentacle wraps around your legs, and as it does wrap around your legs, it almost finds itself too slippery. So it's like, as it doesn't make purchase around your ankles.
Bracken looks, and he was about to do something reactionary when that happened, but he didn't need to, so that's quite cool. Excellent. Bracken is relieved.
And, yes.
He's also on fire.
As it does that, the tentacles, almost as if like a coup de grace motion, just vanish. And as it does, the ground seals back shut.
Oh!
That is the Jester's turn. Conrad.
Okay, I'm gonna do a Greater Divine Surge. And I'm going to use... He's going to channel a smite into it as well. And Let's do mighty blows.
Everything.
Everything. Okay. I will take 1 off my constitution to add an extra 2d8 to it as well, because it won't make any difference to my constitution modifier or anything like that, because it just took 1 from me anyway. Which adds another 1 to this, and then I'll take 5 off to put into stone power, which gives me stuff back from my damage pool.
Yes.
Hopefully that's not going to be a mistake. But we shall see. That should be 44 because of haste.
43 would have just been a hit. So, yes.
Oh well, that doesn't make any difference. That's not haste, but yes. Oh. So damage-wise, so I'm going to type in loads of +2. So that's... Okay. 111 points of damage as Conrad just smacks himself in the chest to build up his energy, and then puts everything into one massive swing, trying to chop down the thing like a tree.
Oh. And you are attempting to fell this tree, this unnatural creature, and you can see ooze and slime and flesh and whatever it's made of just erupts off it. But it is still clinging on to something. That was a beautiful hit, though.
Yeah, that was a hefty old hit. I'm also now flat-footed for the next round.
Oh, okay.
It's only -1 to my AC, so it's not...
You're not.
If it's gonna hit me, it's gonna hit.
Fair enough. With that, we jump back to the top of the round then. Bracken.
Pew, pew. The prismatic eye opens wide as I make a spellcraft check for it. Why was I adding... Oh, because we're level 21, that's why. 38. Cast level check.
That is a hit.
Choo! The prismatic eye opens fire. With my new attack bonus. Hooray! Oh no, it's got its own attack bonus. Silly me. Sorry. Which is... on its touch armor class. It ineffectually fires once again, doing nothing.
It hits the ground next to the creature. I think it was looking on target, but this creature is just so inconsistent with how it's kind of holding itself together that it just sort of reformed away from it and it shot through.
Hopefully Bracken uses this as a distraction, because his true purpose is to fire exactly the same spell from a scroll. so that goes over him, and then a scroll burns away from Bracken's palm as another prismatic ray zips towards him. This time, well, let's do the caster level check again. 41, so...
That's an easy hit.
Yep, so, and now the better ranged attack. 32 on his touch.
That's an easy touch.
Bam! Okay, so spell resistance has been passed through. He's landed his shot. So, can he please roll me a D8? It's not loading. There we are. Yes, D8, please.
That's a 2.
Oh. Please give me a reflex save. Half. DC is... Apologies, my DC is 20... It's being so slow to scroll down for some reason. 27.
Oh! He meets it, but doesn't exceed.
Hey, that means he fails. He takes... Well, if he takes it, that is, 40 points of acid damage. You know, they're very resistant to a lot of things. I don't know if acid is one of them.
It doesn't seem to be as effective as you had hoped, but it does a
No.
bit of damage.
Okay, great. I suppose, yeah, I mean, it primarily does energy-based damage, so I don't know what I was expecting, but, you know, I'm alright with that. I got
Fair
a hit.
enough.
I got a hit.
Nice.
And... Prismatic Eye, pshoom, and then... There was something else I was going to do. No, that's fine. That's my turn.
No move, no free?
No free this round. Maybe next round.
Cool.
Wait! My movement, I take a potion. I'm going to take a curious... Cure serious wounds. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm going to take a curious wounds potion.
I'm going to take a curious wounds.
Which I believe is 4? No, 5?
It's curious, yes, who knows. 4d8
It's
plus
4d8.
20.
Yeah.
No, serious is 3. 3d8 plus 15. Critical is 4. Serious is 3d8 plus 15.
.28 back, balms Bracken's burning skin a little.
Just, yeah, that wasn't proper fire, that felt weird.
Yeah.
But yes, very nice.
That's my turn, thank you.
Excellent. It is now the Jester, whatever you want to call it, its turn. Its turn. And... It doesn't need to. It will make a full round of attacks on you again, Conrad, as these tentacles come slamming into you. Your armor class hasn't changed?
27 now, yes.
27. Because you're flat-footed.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't have sneak attack.
Jesus.
The first one is miss.
Oh, what a
It
treat.
bounces off your armor. Second one is also a miss. That's some
Wow.
atrocious rolling. The third one's a hit. The fourth is a miss roll, because I rolled it onto the floor.
What's that? A miss?
Miss roll. The fourth one is also a hit. So 2 hits slam into you, doing... ...43 points of damage as these 2 tentacles slam into you. And then I need 2 grapple checks, please.
Very well. Not 267. 39.
Oh, you beat the first one. Very nice.
47.
And you critical. They both attempt to wrap around you. How do you shrug them off?
It's like any time anything with that tries to grapple him, the chain's so constantly moving. A second tries to actually wrap around, the chain just knocks it away.
Phenomenal. you avoid potentially more nasty damage and some nasty effects as well that might have been coming your way, but no. Instead, I need both of you. Actually, technically all three of you, if you count the illusion, to make a reflex.
And the eye.
No, the eye is okay. I need a reflex save off all of you, please.
A reflex saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the +1.
Yes.
Meh, 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 meh.
And is it spell-like ability again?
Yep.
Great. 23.
23.
Sorry.
We don't want to take any charisma damage.
Reflex,
Reflex.
you said. Yeah, it's reflex, yeah.
Oh,
Not
yes.
will. Reflex, not will.
That's fine.
33.
Yes, that's why I didn't use diamond defense. No, I was being logical.
Yes, it makes sense. Another rift opens beneath you all.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, with 23, Conrad, you fall right in. You fall into the rift and you fall down about 60 feet before you make contact with a hard, writhing mass of tentacles. You take...
I was just thinking how well I did not to take too much damage last turn.
You take 26 points of impact damage from the fall.
Okay.
Take 22 points of black fire damage. And 26 points of divine energy. As the abyssal energies and tentacles just wash over you in agony and pain and despair.
Ouch.
Bracken, you're able to leap away, as is your illusion, to the nearest safe space, which I would imagine would be one closest or the one to your left. Your choice.
Oh, right. But I mean, the way that looks, one would go one way, one would go the other way, right? So we're on either sides of the rift,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Actual Bracken goes there. Illusionary Bracken will go here.
Nice. As, yes, you're able to dodge out of the way, but you see Conrad fall deep into this nasty rift. That is its turn, Conrad.
Conrad lands on the ground with a thud of fire and a burst of energy, and he has no choice but to whisper the name Ilfoya, and his fey wings emerge from his back, and he flies at double his speed because of haste back out of the hole.
Oh, nice.
It was 60 feet deep, right?
Yes.
Then I can do 60 feet out and then another 10 feet to land there.
Change.
And then...
I don't have your wing token.
Oh, what?
Not to hand, at least, anyway.
That's
I'll
alright.
rummage for it quickly.
And then I will, in somewhat dire straits now, attempt to strike a righteous vitality to try and heal myself.
Good luck.
Let me end off this. 55.
That is a hit.
Something of a hit. So 38 points of damage from the hit, and then Conrad immediately heals 150 hit points,
Oh, nice.
which brings it back to a more healthy amount. Not 2,000, but and he also heals the constitution damage he took earlier.
Nice.
And sadly lose my Roots of the Mountain stance, and because that because Hawk's Flight is a swift action, I can't unfortunately set myself back up in a stance. So that's it for my turn.
But a turn well spent as you get out of a potentially incredibly dangerous position.
Yeah.
And you find yourself back on ground. We jump to Bracken at the top of the round.
Bracken's copy self. I will use my movement first of all, because I know that it's going to expand. So Bracken will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Yep, he can go zip over there with haste.
Right over there.
Absolutely, I don't want to go near him, do I? So Bracken goes over there. However, he is that movement is almost obfuscated by the fact that his spell copy is beginning to cast a spell, and as he does, he looks to the Jester and he will say, "We have seen within your mind, Jester. We have seen your dire pact with Bahamut. Perhaps a taste of his medicine." Bracken will channel a level 8 spell at the creature. Suddenly, all about him, the creature, there is a blistering gale as walls of force rise up all around the creature, like some terrifying labyrinth is springing up all about him, confusing him, effectively evoking the ghost labyrinth. Bracken casts Maze in an attempt to send the Jester into hopefully a fit of loss and confusion, using his memories against him. So I will have to do a spell caster check. I always worry about giving such descriptions to things, and then 34. Fuck. It's not good enough, is it? Fuck.
It is so close, but it is not enough as you bring the walls of the labyrinth up around it, but at the last moment the walls just fall back like dominoes as the Jester resists being sent into the labyrinth in that extra dimensional space.
Pooh.
So close.
That's my turn.
Unfortunate.
The prismatic eye opens fire. Choo choo choo. Cast a level check again. Less. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I ain't worrying. Look at that. It is back to the Jester's turn, and it's going for one attack against you, Conrad.
Okay.
As one tentacle attempts to hit you, and we shall see. So 28 now, or more?
Indeed, 28.
That is a hit. As one tentacle hits you, doing 22 points of damage.
Okay.
We will do the grapple check as well before we do the next thing.
Okay. 31, that was poor.
His was poorer. It does not find purchase. However,
Lucky.
I need you to roll me a will save, please.
Will save. I will use Diamond Defense as a reaction. 50.
You feel a surge of joy almost creep to your mouth as you're about to smile, and then, no, you're not.
You're not
You're not.
funny.
You're not funny. Not funny. As what it tries to do, it cannot.
Good.
That is its turn, and I'm pretty certain for this thing. Oh, Bracken, you are in range of this effect.
Oh, man.
Can you both make reflex saves, please?
Yes. That's what I'm saying I can do. Whether it happens...
28.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Type, damn you! Thank you.
Damn you.
32.
Bracken, you are able to completely avoid all of this.
Yeah.
These tentacles spring out from this rift again. Conrad, you're not in time this time around, as a tentacle slams down into you, similar to how your earlier ancient mountain hammer came down like a hammer. So does this tentacle slamming onto you, doing 18 points of fire damage.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
17 points of divine energy.
Cool.
Are you still okay?
Yeah, I mean, I healed last turn. I was back to
Okay.
not quite full, but
And could you make a grapple check, please? As this thing attempts to wrap itself around your legs.
Stop grappling me. 40.
That is amazing. You resist. You have. How is it you've resisted this many grapple attempts on you this turn?
I think this time, as it like wraps around his ankle, he just like normally deflects it, but now he's getting desperate and he just has to like stamp on it with the other foot, and it just managed to use the leverage to pull his foot away from it.
Ah, beautiful. And it's almost like that particular one just bursts where you stamped on it like a pest, like an insect. That one's just whoosh, as the tentacle is just like writhing back in the air. Excellent stuff. It's your turn.
It is. Doesn't have legs, this thing, does it? It's just tentacles.
I mean, it has legs, but it's not really. It's just, yeah, it's just tentacles.
It's not going to be triple. I will attempt another ancient mountain hammer on it. I guess. 54 to hit.
No,
No,
I just don't feel like it's done. Yes, that's a hit.
I've changed my mind.
I've changed my mind. I've just upped everything by 30. That's an easy hit.
94 points of damage.
Peace and rice.
Channels the mountain through the creature.
Through the creature, Ray. Is it in one piece? No, it is most certainly not. the chain is. What is it like as you cause this creature to just erupt in just a flurry of awful blood and viscera as this collapses in a writhing mess on the floor?
So I think he manages to swing the chain. It wraps around what's left of its legs, catches the other end, kicks it as hard as he can, channeling the power through that, which knocks it back into the hole, and the other tentacles reach up, thinking they've got a human to capture, but in reality they've got this tentacle beast itself, and he maintains the grip with the chain, and it's being pulled apart, and it just tears and rips and explodes.
Bravo, that is horrible. As it explodes, the abyssal rift, the tentacles just rush back in as the ground slams back shut. There feels like a disturbance to the area around you. Bracken, you can give me a Arcana spellcraft roll.
Which one? Any?
Arcana. You've been studying what's been going on, pretty much, so let's go Arcana.
46.
46. You can tell that the energy that's around you, that malaise, it feels better now because the thing's dead. And you can tell with its defeat, it will stop. It may not be immediate, but the corruption, the heart of it, what was bleeding out from this domain into Highkeep proper and beyond, has been cut away. But it's going to take a bit more time before the effects are truly removed. So there is still that lingering amount, like smoke in a room. It takes a while for it to fully dissipate out.
Like rain, Conrad, the effect that has been upon Highkeep will pass. And well done.
Impossible without you here, Bracken. You know that.
Sure, says Bracken, but the conviction doesn't reach his words.
No, like, Conrad wouldn't have passed most of those saves if he didn't have the ridiculous amount of bonuses Bracken's
Yeah, no, he's...
with.
It's only half false modesty, like, he understands that. It's just that he's really... when Bracken declares something that he wants to be, like, poetic justice, some kind of irony to defeat the creature with the maze, basically, is what he wanted to do. It just didn't work. And he's very disappointed. It was very... Listen, it's how it goes, isn't it? It is the curse of the spellcraft, the caster level check, isn't it? But, no, he's
the most epic thing I've ever done.
It fizzles.
Exactly. It serves me right for describing it before making the roll. No, but it goes further to inform Bracken's opinion that Conrad is becoming this great Arthurian like figure of leadership and heroism. So like the fact that he stood upon this tree and battered this enemy of Highkeep into the oblivion of the abyss is is what Bracken's truly dwelling on, and is in awe at the event.
Yeah, this creature sort of just dissolves, and it dissolves and evaporates away, really. What was left of the Jester had long gone. You think the Jester died the first time he went into the abyss, perhaps. But whatever this was clinging on to any semblance of being a Fey by probably that much of a thread.
Do we get the impression that the Jester had been like this since its service to the Masters? Like, was it always this? Or was it...
You think, from what you saw in one of your visions, it alluded to him fleeing the Masters and the Pale Knight, and it was offered power by a much greater force. Perhaps that is what may have drawn it.
Perhaps now Flora will finally return to our good friend.
Wait.
Resnick.
Let me look it up.
Remember? You remember?
We never remembered him when we were playing before. Why would we remember him now?
So I've written him on my hand or something? No. Definitely began with an S.
Was it Rezik? It was Rezik.
There you go.
Yes,
it was
Rezik. I was just messing. I remember Remin.
Rimming. Fucking Rezik, man. Yes, perhaps. Hopefully, in fact.
You do have a means of finding out.
Yes, we could just go and find... No.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could just teleport there, but...
No, we can't.
Not here, you can't. But you also had the...
Zarado.
The control rod for the Warforged.
Oh, yeah.
That would perhaps not be a good use of such a... Excuse me, can you check on our friend, please? I know that this device that I hold in my hand controls you and potentially could end the life of you and all of your kind, but could you just please check on my friend?
Just pop your head round the door.
Anyone
and then let me know. Thanks.
I think we should focus on making our way out of this place as illustrious and as awe-inspiring as this tree is. I fear the passageways to another worlds might close now that this effect is coming to an end. We must hurry.
You hear a voice.
As ever, I defer to your wisdom, Bracken.
I rather think you are right. As you hear a giant footstep step through a very briefly appearing gate, and for a moment you look into a window of an endless labyrinth, and stepping out from the gate is someone you might have heard about, but probably have never seen. As Baphomet, at least as described, steps forth, that face. This hulking demon prince steps through.
Go on.
It's okay.
That's so eerie how your voice doesn't change in volume even though you're miles away. It's like the Killer Show.
Jesus.
That's horrifying.
It looks down upon the two of you. It is amazing to see such power wasted by humans. It and its toys were so useful. And you were so very useful. I should thank you. I cannot openly claim Pale Knight's power. The princes would have come down on me. But as it lifts its giant glaive up, some mortals fall into the abyss, magically make their way through my labyrinth, and casually dispose of the Pale Knight. Why? Anyone could claim that power. Why not someone on the same layer? But I don't want to thank you. In fact, I think the closest feeling I have is hate. I hate you. What to do? It stands up tall, and as he does, some creatures move through a gate to join him next to him. You recognize what these are? You mentioned them earlier.
Goristro. Bracken will look up at Bahamut and Baphomet. Sorry, not Bahamut.
Okay.
Wrong entity entirely. He will look up at Baphomet and regarding the creature and its awesome, in the original meaning of the word, size and power, and he will say, why concern yourself with this place? Why concern yourself with matters in High Keep when there is a power vacuum, a void to fill in the abyss? Why do you not take the place of the Pale Knight and become sole ruler of your lair in the dark?
Why do you not think I already have?
So you owe us then.
I hate you because I respect your power. You fell one of the eldest Obliaths, the Abyss. You caused all power to change. Now, I am a contender I could stand against Demogorgon himself. Why here? Because it would have been too easy to just pick you off. I like to play with my food. And I wanted to send a message. Or at least break you before destroying you. And my tool is gone. It didn't know I took many from your home. Perhaps he looks at the Garistro next to him. Maybe one of them stands next to me now. Maybe two do. But I have more power. I have more soldiers. More monsters at my side. Because I listened, and I watched, and I waited. And I enjoyed it.
Prisoners you took then gone, are they? Become this abomination you stand beside? These creatures.
The ones I stole are mine. And some have returned to you. Am I not generous with my power? As he gestures to the Garistro next to him.
You are certainly something. But this realm is not yours to dwell in. Return to your labyrinth. Or I believe something far greater than us will take umbrage to your being here.
It has taken umbrage already. War is coming. And I intend to lead it on your plane, where I will exact revenge against the other princes, those who have slighted me. Boxob, Demogorgon, gone. Dagon, all of them. I couldn't have done it without you. I will leave. For now. Turns around. Your villagers, your people. Why won't you say hello? As he steps back through a gate. As the Garistro charge. Roll initiative.
Ah!
That's when you need it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Didn't think that's where we're at. Okay. Conrad, you immediately jump up, and it is your turn.
Great. So the first thing I'll do is a swift action of White Raven's tactics to bring Bracken's number to 1 below mine, just in case they have bested his score.
Yep.
And then he will. Sorry?
Thank you for fixing the initiative for me.
Yeah, I'll just fix that bit. And then Conrad will take a free 5-foot step. Actually, I don't think I need to. I think I can't. I'm too far away. I need to zoom in. Yeah, that's within 10 feet, isn't
Yep.
it?
You're within 10 feet.
And he will form a mountain tombstone strike on the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. 46 to hit.
That is a hit, yes.
So it suffers. Is it it's a evil outsider, isn't it?
It is.
Of course. 45 points of damage, and also immediately takes
45.
10 points of constitution damage.
Oh,
As
wow.
Conrad says, "I'm glad you stayed. I intend to free you of this vessel," and then just bang, and just like uppercuts, ripping half its face off.
Oh. Wow. Okay. That is incredible. Let me just do the maths for a second, because
That's a lot of constitution damage.
that is a metric ton of constitution damage. Wow. This one right next to you, what does it... I mean, you've just belted him. What have you done? Ripped off his face, ripped open his chest. He's still standing, but my God, he's
Yeah, I
not
think
sleeping when he
the-
once was.
The chain wraps around his horn and hooks into his mouth, and just half his face just rips away from the bone, and a horn tears off his skull.
Oh,
God.
oh, that is awful. But brilliant.
That's awful. Do it again.
That is incredible. Is that all you're doing?
I've done a swift action, movement, and a standard action, so that's all I can do.
Excellent stuff.
I'm assuming that our swiftness, not swiftness. I got all flustered by the excellent rolls. The haste is still active, I'm guessing. So it's still
Haste
within
lasts
that.
for 20 minutes or 20 rounds? Sorry, 21 minutes or 21 rounds. Is it rounds?
Haste, yeah, rounds, yeah.
But your contingency would have kicked in, would it? Or was it once a day?
That's a good point, yeah. Well, I've been marking them off, to be honest with you, and let's see, would it have triggered 1, 2, 3... 4... I'm out. Wouldn't have triggered.
No haste.
Unless it carries on from that thing, but that dialogue between us and Baphomet was probably longer than that, eh?
It was.
Let me just Google it just in case. I'm pretty sure not. One round per level, yeah, gone.
Gone. Cool. Worth checking, though.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
With that, though, Bracken, Conrad has brought you up into the initiative. Your prismatic eye must still be in effect.
Prismatic Eye still there? Oh yes. Oh yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to do.
So we'll get that out of the way, shall we? Because that's actually quite a good way of telling what I'm going to be up against. So the Prismatic Eye will shoot at the one closest to Bracken on the left-hand side. Do I need to make a caster level check?
You can do a what's your feat? It means you can take 10 on a caster
Yeah,
level check.
effectively, but because of my greater spell penetration, instead of it being that, I get my greater spell penetration on top of it, so it is... Where is it? I have got it written down. Yeah,
so it's 10
so
plus your
so it's effectively taking 14. Yeah. So if I
it's
take
taking
14 for taking 14 for the roll plus my level, so that's 35.
5. Yeah, you don't need to roll.
Cool.
We'll just save ourselves
That's
time.
sufficient.
Okay.
I thought as much. I was like, for the previous one, I was like, there is a chance you could fail this, but with these,
Yeah, I thought that was probably the case. Yeah. Okay, so in that case, then the prismatic eye will loose a blast, and it's the Garisto's touch armor class. Possibly a fumble.
A fumble. Let's see if that is a fumble, because that could be interesting.
Oh God, no! Oh God, no!
Just a miss.
Pshoo!
If you're unlucky, that might have hit Conrad.
Yeah.
The back would have been unfortunate. However, that is just a miss.
Okay. The next thing I'm going to try, because I'm really worried about that thing just going for me. If I fail a thing, so I'm going
Stop
to.
it moving.
That's my plan, and Bracken remembers last time they fought Garisto how he dealt with them, but he wants to have another contingency in place. So he is going to. He's going to quicken greater invisibility. Hope Garistros don't have juicing or something. I don't know. I don't know if they do. Maybe they do. Who knows? So that, and then Bracken will then use his normal cast. Oh.
I put a symbol on you.
Yeah, Bracken will use his normal casting to throw his hand out towards the Garistro. And there is a rumbling and a surge of energy. Bracken was preparing, or was going to use the spell earlier when he saw Conrad tumble into the darkness, but he'd helped himself out, so he didn't need to use it. And now he figures it's probably a good time as any to reverse gravity as he makes the world go upside down for the Garistro. So, as I recall, reverse gravity is savage. It's savage.
Especially when you're not a ranged combatant.
Yeah, the spell reverses gravity in the area, causing all unattached objects and creatures within that area to fall up. No saving throw. And that's all run round per level.
Oh, what's the range, sorry?
100 feet plus 10 foot per level.
Up.
Oh right, area is up.
Area.
What up? 1 10-foot cube per 2 levels. So per 2 levels, 20. We don't include the 1, so 20. So that's 100 feet.
Yeah, 100 feet.
So he hurts us 100 feet into the air.
Eep. make a note of this, as this Garistro has gone for a little...
Gone for a little ride.
Because screw that. So Invisible Bracken watches as the thing hurtles into the air. And that's... will that be his turn? Yes, that'll be his turn, and I have a great plan for next turn, hopefully.
Excellent. We come to the Garistro, and one of them is just flailing in the air, going... You can imagine the sound of like a bull just hovering in the air. That's kind of what it's doing. And in the same instance, however, the other one here that's taken a battering, he's big enough that he can reach you as well, Conrad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it comes down for 2 massive-looking slams. So your armor class now is 27. There's no haste. The first one's a whack. The second one's a whack. That's nasty. Go on. Ooh, 2 hits for 79 points of damage as this creature of just pure muscle brings an entire palm just slamming down onto you.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. That is its turn. We're back to the top of the round, and you hear a voice just utter, "Perhaps this was an old friend of yours," as Bracken appears, as another Garistro just appears walking through. That is all it can do this turn, though.
Oh, shit.
So it's that. Conrad.
Conrad will gonna do Roots of the Mountain because I think that's a good idea of this Garistro. And then he will actually I'll do that last in case I'll do a Strike of Righteous Vitality on the Garistro in front of me. First of all. Does 57.
I mean, that's a critical, so can you confirm the crit?
Does 40 hit?
That's a critical. That's what we like to see.
64 on the critical.
Oh.
You just dodged multiplier +1. Roll again. He doesn't carry a shield.
Okay. 20. Oh, fuck's sake, every time.
Standard crit. That's a shame.
Yeah. Oh well. It'll still be a beefy bit of damage.
Yes.
Pardon the pun.
Because he's made of beef.
I still like the idea of this cow just going 100 feet in the air.
Oh my word.
88 points of damage.
Oh. Okay.
And Conrad also heals 150 hit points to undo what they just did to him.
How do you defeat this Garistro?
I think it's another shot into where he just ripped the skin off. He just swings the chain around and brings it, and it just goes straight through the eyeball, where it's already weak from the last hit, and just explodes out through the back of the brain. And then the the strength of his conviction in this matter of trying to save these poor souls fills his heart, and the wounds on his face from the last 2 hits and the damage done to him just heals over almost as if it hasn't happened, leaving only trace blood and scar tissue. And then he'll move to here,
Very nice.
knowing that he's going to get battered by the Garistro, but also doesn't want to get charged by it because he's seen what they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, big horns. They're not pleasant. Very good. Excellent. That's it.
And then I'll do Roots of the Mountain stats as my
Nice.
action.
Brilliant stuff there. Bracken. You had a plan.
Yeah. Bracken is staring at the new arrival and watches Conrad move towards it.
Move towards
Move towards
Because it's a cow.
Yes, yes. Okay. Oh, that really tickled me. Right. Okay. Bracken looks at the Garistro that Conrad is approached to sort of meet him in battle. Does it appear to be a void still open that more of these could potentially come through, Mike?
No, it opens for a second when something seems to pass through. Whoever is controlling it, who you suspect Baphomet is controlling it, it is only ever seen being cast on and off when in use.
You can tell me whether this is worth a check or not, but can I determine then that that means the dimensional anchor with the death of the Grey Jester has been removed from the field? Given that things are dimensionally leaping in, or...
Give me a spellcraft check.
It might just be because it's them and they're allowed and I'm not. It's one rule for one, eh?
Yeah, when you've got the same type of magic.
Bloody Abyss Elites. That is knowledge. Spellcraft, did you say, Michael?
Spellcraft, yes. You're looking specifically at a spell here.
39.
Funny that. With the Grey Jester gone, so's the dimensional anchor.
Great. Great. Not what he's going to do this turn, however. Bracken looks up at the Garistro that is hurtling over and over and over. And he is invisible. He doesn't know whether the enemy can see him, but he's done. Real Bracken, invisible, is going to walk. How's he going to do this? Now, I just realised that he can't walk directly beneath him because he'll go into the. He'll go into the thing, won't he? What am I talking about?
Missile.
Let's resolve the prismatic eye first of all, as I know I can bypass the spell resistance.
The floating one or the newly appeared one?
Newly appeared one. 13 on his touch.
That is a
boy.
hit, because he's a big boy.
Thank goodness. It's
Not
terrible.
a very big boy. But a
Terrible rolls. Okay, please roll a d8 for him, please.
That's a 1.
Reflex saving throw, please, of 20. Oh, it's got its own, hasn't it? Of 19. Reflex of 19, please.
The massive, hulking Garistro. More muscle than dexterity. utterly fails that.
Phew!
So,
20 points of fire damage just blisters off his shoulder.
burning away some fur. Smells like steak.
Oh,
Like
I know what
back on
I'm.
the menu, boys.
I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Bracken is going to quicken because he's moved. Prismatic eyes fired as he moves. He's going to quicken fly. Okay.
Okay.
That enables him to. He does that as he's doing his movement. So that means as he steps into reverse gravity, he doesn't go anywhere.
Okay.
Feel like he's showing off now.
He then looks up at the creature and then just draws his arms wide, and this spectral rainbow light follows his hands as they part from each other. And as he does that, it's like a curtain of rainbow rain falls all around him as he casts Prismatic Sphere.
Oh.
And he takes up a defensive position here beneath this Garistro with the now defensive prismatic dome directly beneath him. That is
Right.
Bracken's turn for now.
This dome, it's encased you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second.
I am technically beneath him, but I didn't want to move my token into him, if that makes sense. So I would be
Yeah, I get
directly
that.
beneath him. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need it? So you don't need a symbol for it.
Not unless you want one. Actually, no, because I can actually move from it if I wish. So I wouldn't mind one if that's okay.
I can get you a prismatic.
I can.
Sphere.
The thing is, I can walk through it completely unharmed. And let me give you the dimensions of it. It is 10-foot radius sphere.
There you go.
Oh, that is so rad!
Yes.
That is so cool.
There we go.
Suffice to say, if anything is to pass through it, they suffer every effect.
Oh, I have a horrible feeling I know what you're going to do later.
He's not going to do anything, Michael.
I'm not going to do anything, Michael. I'm just going to start swinging my fists, and if you happen to be in the way, it's only your fault.
Very well. That sees this sphere of energy conjured there. Is at the end of your turn.
I think it should actually be twice the size of that, Mike.
10-foot radius.
10-foot radius, yeah.
Ah. So that size.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
It's so cool.
Oh,
It's just like this
there you
pinwheel.
go.
it's so disturbing.
That is massive. I'll just-
Mesmerizing.
That's Bracken's turn.
Excellent. Okay. Right. It's only one Garistro's turn then, because one of them is still flailing in the air like a hovering cow. This one, however, takes a 5-foot step forward next to you, Conrad. And this one attempts to crush you twice. 27 your armor class, yes?
Indeed.
First one's a hit. Or second one's a miss. As only one slam connects with you. For 44 points of damage. As he punches into you. It's almost like he's trying to swing low and uppercut. One fist just drags across the floor and doesn't connect, but the other one just catches you So yeah, this huge fist almost knocks you back. That is its turn. We get to the top of the round. And you hear the voice again. I will leave you with another gift. Maybe
These aren't good gifts.
this was a servant. Perhaps this was a child who worked the fields. You will see me soon. Enough. And the laugh just fades away as the gate seemingly shuts. Apparently for good. Conrad.
Yes. Conrad is going to perform a ancient mountain hammer on the directly in front.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, 50.
Easily.
So there's a healthy amount of damage coming his way. 91 points of damage. As Conrad, I think, because he said the second one missed, I think Conrad catches it and just smacks it back. In
Nice.
retaliation.
That's a brutal and brilliant retaliation as you drive the chain back as this fist into it.
Ew.
215. Nice.
Yeah, that's my health.
Well, we're just typing our attacks in now, are we?
Oh yeah, that's
I hit him for 250.
I hit him. I retaliate and hit you for 4,006.3.
4006.
4006.
Excellent stuff there, and you make a massive dent in that one. But Bracken, you have set up a few things. I am concerned for this Garistra's well-being.
Well, first of all, the prismatic eye, we've been doing it first. So this one, it is going to fire at the new arrival as it literally as it steps into the fray. Prismatic eye.
This one.
Yeah. So this will go for his touch.
That's fun. That's
possibly a critical. I don't know how that works. I guess if it does damage, maybe because it's a ray, you will allow it. It's a ray.
Numerical effects are doubled.
Cool. Okay.
Or potentially more. We'll see.
We'll see.
If it is.
23 on his touch.
That is a critical.
Great. Roll a d8 for me, please.
Yay.
And can you also roll me a d100, please? Just in case.
Yeah, could be some absurd thing, couldn't it?
Oh.
26.
That is a standard critical.
Yep.
I rolled a 7.
Oh, I don't think that's going to do anything then. Let's have a look. 7 is... please make a will save of DC 19, because it is the prismatic eye after all.
19.
Will save of 19, prismatic eye. Yep.
He does succeed.
He is not sent to another dimension. However, he is sent 100 feet into the air as he has just immediately stepped into the reverse gravity field.
Wait, this one?
Yep.
To the right?
Mm-hmm. No, this one. This one.
Oh, you're attacking this one?
Yeah.
Ah.
He is in reverse gravity where he's standing there, so he has gone up.
Okay. Oh.
I mean, listen.
I heard of cow tipping, but this is ridiculous.
Don't underestimate them.
Oh,
I was working on that one though.
Did a quick workshop.
Yeah, sorry, Michael. I should have said that reverse gravity has an area of up to 10 feet cubed per 2 levels.
You've certainly raised the stakes there.
You could say I'm milking it now. He's gone up in the air. I'm sorry, Michael. He's gone into the 10 foot cube per 2 levels.
I've put a little mark there.
Yeah, he's gone. Zip. But that isn't even my turn, is it?
It's the prismatic eye, so...
I guess, I mean, the one in front of Conrad... This is an interesting thing. I don't actually know whether I can see through the prismatic sphere. I don't think it says. It says it can't... Obviously, it prevents things from coming through to hit me. But I don't know whether it says... Let's see. I didn't bring this up because I would only assume each of them have more than 8 hit die, because otherwise they would have been blinded as well. I'm guessing they have more than 8 hit die.
They do have more than 8.
So they're not blinded. Okay. Oh, okay, so it makes no mention of if I can see through it or not. So I'm going to assume I can see through it. However, I cannot fire spells through it, which I already knew.
But you also have your things still in effect.
The reverse. I do, yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm just
in case you're wondering where it's
No, I know. I'm just like trying to work out in my brain what I'm doing with Bracken over there. Bracken here. Yeah, I didn't plan this move very well. I do apologise. Okay, what Bracken's going to do is he's going to just shoot. He's just going to shoot prismatic. Do I have any of those left? Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm just going to fire just a standard prismatic ray then at the one that is to the one that you thought I meant before, the one on the far right.
One
yeah.
who...
Yeah, so I don't need the caster level check, so this is just on his touch armor class. This is with
this is coming from your clone, yeah?
This is coming from my clone, so I use my attack bonus, which is much higher. 31 on his touch.
It is a touch.
Please roll a d8 for me, Garistro.
4.
Okay, do a fortitude saving throw, please. And you might want to make it a good one. I'm sure it will be, because he's a beast. The save is...
I
27.
20.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, well, he is not immediately killed then.
Okay.
That's a shame. But he does take a d6 constitution damage, as he is affected by poison, unless he's immune to poison.
He's immune to poison.
Is he actually? Oh. Well then, nothing happens. Shit.
Nothing happens. FYI, I just had a quick look at the descriptions. I didn't go into too much information. Prismatic sphere says as prismatic wall, but a sphere. Prismatic wall says it creates an opaque wall. So I don't think you could see through it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. But I can see through my boy.
You can see through your boy. And yes, that was I've not had a proper 20 in a while, so thank you. And yeah, he makes it. There were 2 Garistro floating, 1 a bloody mess. One of them will make... He's going to charge your... He's going to charge past Conrad, which one will provoke an attack of opportunity from Conrad.
Yep.
And will potentially provoke a will save because he's going for your projected image that he can see.
I'm going to try and trip him because I think it's fun.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's do with that first before we do the will save, just because he may end up on the floor.
36 on his touch.
Yes.
No, he's not gonna. It's not gonna work. 13.
Oppose strength or dex. We go strength. I beat it on the die. So,
Yeah. There's a shit roll. That's fine.
And will save to realise before he charges Bracken to disprove.
Yeah, it's one of my level 7 spells, so that is a 26 disbelief check. But he has to interact with it, so that does commit him to the charge.
He does. He absolutely fails that. He charges.
Oh, so he still thinks it's me, despite that, then.
He failed the will save and just goes as he charges, and he thinks he clobbers you on and lifts your clothing. The one next to you, Conrad, is one hand comes in as an overhead strike, attempting to essentially hammer you into the ground. That is a miss. Another one comes in to essentially try and do the same thing. He's trying to plant you into the tree. That is not a miss. It's one hit. Dealing 41 points of damage again, I think. Again, I don't know, 41 points of damage.
It's 44 last time.
So less. We like less. And the other two are floating. So we will see what happens in the distant future. Which takes us back to the top of the round. There is no voice now from Baphomet. So instead, Conrad, how do you lead the turn?
Conrad will perform a greater divine surge, and I'm going to take 4 off my constitution to do so.
Ooh.
Not minus 44, Jesus Christ. So that's 80, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this adds 4 to my attack bonus. And I'll take 5 off to stone power. Done. So that is 36. And I scrolled up. 42 to hit.
Easily.
Great. And then plus 110 points of damage.
Please, how, by harming yourself, do you destroy, not that one, this Goristro here?
I think he basically grabs the horns and effectively pierces his hands on them.
Oh.
And then brings the head down, his knee up, and the teeth of the creature go through his leg as he does it, but he knees through its face. And it just crumples down to the earth. Maybe he, in fact, brings his body up rather than Garistro's head down, but nevertheless, the force of which drives his knee through the thing's face.
Ow.
and then he lands on the ground, staggers, and looks around to see where the next attack's going to come from.
That is brilliant. And with that, then, Bracken.
Bracken's visage looks at the Garistro as it's charged, and the illusionary image of him looks like, yeah, it's been thrown up into the air by its charge. But as the image comes flying back down, Bracken will simply say through the image, Garistro, I name you. Your time is at an end. I rebuke you! And he casts Final Rebuke upon...
Final Rebuke?
Final Rebuke upon the Garistro. As it has to make a will save. And, oh my god, this continues as well. 1 round per level for some reason.
Right.
I don't know why it does, but okay.
Did you say 27?
No, I haven't given you the DC yet. That is... It might actually be 27, to be fair. It is 27. We'll say 27.
No. It's actually 27.
It is. He fails.
I rebuke you! And then there's just doom! And there's just a blast of prismatic colour that just washes across the Garistro, and he's stood frozen there for a moment, and then dies instantly.
What?
Final rebuke!
Wow.
Amazing.
The spell functions like rebuke, which basically makes something shaken or whatever, except the target dies instantly if it fails its saving throw. A creature that survives this effect is dazed for 1 round. He is dead.
Then wait, why does it last for several rounds?
It just says duration 1 round per level. I have no idea.
Can you just keep rebuking each turn?
I rebuke you! I rebuke you! I rebuke you! I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wish I did know. Unless, oh no! It's as the spell, so the other effects of normal rebuke continue on it. So it would be dazed and shaken as well if it's saved.
I see.
Yeah, that's why. That's the one.
Deteriorates down.
Yeah, and it just screws it up. Normal rebuke just screws them over and shit makes them shaken and stuff as well. That's why it would be that. It's just an addition. In this instance, yeah, it just killed him straight away. Exactly. So, boom! It collapses to the ground.
Really good. Wow.
Also, Conrad, you can't reach that because it's 100 feet in the air, isn't it? So if it's still 100 feet in the air, you're not going to be able to... You don't have your wings anymore, do you?
No, that was only for a minute.
Do you want him to come down?
I mean, at some point.
Bracken releases the reverse gravity spell as a free action.
Okay. Firstly, let's deal with the easy one here. Can you roll me 10d6?
Oh yes, for the fall.
Falling.
Yes. So both of them will take this because they both are falling. That so. 10d6.
I suspect the other one won't make it to the ground, Rob.
That's
33 points of bludgeoning.
And the other one, I'll put that
Not
to
the
one
fall
side.
that kills you, or the ground. It's the pinwheel of chaos that you fall through on the way.
So,
It drops, and before it hits the ground, describe for me and tell me
In turn,
It's horrible because it basically I imagine almost like it's like the magic reaches up to meet him, and it's like when you see like lines of different coloured paint like drawn across a canvas and then they leak into each other. This thing reaches up into the Gristro as it falls into it, and it's like this bull is just falling into a swimming pool of colour. It just infecting him. First of all, he needs to do a reflex saving throw. I imagine he might get a negative to that if he's falling, Michael, but that's just me. It is a reflex saving throw of 28.
That's a fail.
He takes 20 points of fire damage, so he goes through red layer first.
Okay, I'm just going to tally this up. Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. By the way, as he's doing this, he would use his movement to move, by the way.
Yep.
So he's not directly beneath it. He'll still be inside it, but not directly in it. Okay. The next one it falls to is orange. Does it have magical weapons?
No, they came in with just the hands.
That's fine. It doesn't prevent his magical weapons from having any powers. However, it does still require another reflex saving throw, please. Same DC.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, he takes half then in that case, unless he's got evasion.
Nope.
20 points of acid damage.
Okay. Some of that is resisted.
Another reflex saving throw, please. I imagine this will be resisted too. We will see.
That is a fail.
So this deals 80 points of electricity damage.
It just crackles off his skin.
Crackles off his skin, okay. So he falls. That's him falling through yellow. We've already discussed how he's immune to poison damage. Can he now make a fortitude saving throw as he falls through blue? 28.
He's okay. That's a pass.
Okay. He does not turn to stone.
Okay. That would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. Okay, that was blue. Indigo is the next one. A will save, please. 28.
That's a fail.
He is stricken insane. as per the insanity spell.
Right.
Okay, and then the last one. Another will save, please.
That's a 1.
He's literally inches from passing through the prismatic sphere. And then there's a BAM! This is massive. It's just shoom, flash of light as, of course. He goes through violet. He's sent to another dimension.
Oh, roll me a D100. Let's see where he goes as this insane Minotaur team.
Yeah, insane Minotaur team gets sent somewhere. 62.
He's been sent to the twin paradises of Bitopia.
Oh no!
Oh, that sounds like it's a nice place.
Yeah, not anymore.
Insane Minotaur team.
Yeah, it's insane Minotaur just shows up. Oh my god. That's him.
Excellent stuff. Boy, he's gone. And you're forgetting one more.
Am I?
Pew pew.
Oh, did I not do that this round?
Oh, did you right? Nope.
Pew, pew, pew. 25 on his touch.
Yes.
Roll a d8.
Actually, well, I'm going to do this one publicly because...
Yeah, I was going to say, I like them public.
6.
Oh no, please do a will save. Oh,
DC
19,
of-
not 90 because it's the prismatic eye.
It makes it.
He is not driven insane.
Okay.
That's my turn.
That is a phenomenal round as Bracken controls the field. Excellent stuff. It's this demon's turn, who had a nasty fall. Spent his movement to stand, provoking an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I'll take it. 49.
Yes.
There you go.
38. Nice. As he stands up and you bonk him on the head.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it more of a punch with the chain?
I think from that distance it'd have to be a whiplash effect.
Oh, nice.
Goes around the horns. Bonks him on top of the head.
Yes. It stands, takes a 5-foot step away from the prismatic sphere, and attempts to clock you once, Conrad.
Yeah. 27.
That is a miss.
Oh.
As it's staggered getting up onto its feet, as it's unable to make purchase against your armor class this time. Which takes us back to the top of the round. Conrad.
Gonna need to do a strike of righteous vitality to try not to die. 39 to hit.
Is a hit.
Cool. That's a relief. Gets my health back up to a more reasonable amount. So I took a lot last turn to finish off the previous one. 31 points of damage, but heals all of that constitution damage and 150 points of health. Conrad, as he's tired, he whips the chain out, doesn't do too much, and then he just stands up straight once more, ready to go another round.
Another round. Excellent stuff. Bracken.
Bracken's image just shoots out a hand, and it is revealed that a scroll is already nestled with it. It unravels, blasts prismatic light, and then a ripple of invisible energy blasts from his hand. Can the Garistro perform a will save of 25 as Bracken casts Hold Monster?
The Garistro is about to get ready to just slam as it lifts both its hands in the air.
I like to think that Bracken's spell, it's almost like the Kylo Ren effect for hold person and a hold monster, where it's like doom, and there's like that shaking kind of like ripple effect as he's like holding it. And what he does is he twists the Minotaur's snout like that, so it's just exposing its throat to Conrad's inevitable auto crit. That is my turn.
Excellent. It doesn't get a save this round, does it?
Not this round, no. That was his save.
Excellent. In that case, we're back to the top of the round. Conrad.
Autocrit Ancient Mountain Hammer.
Do you want to roll me a D100 just to see what
And
the effect of this
I'll
is?
also add a smite in there as well.
Ah!
Roll me a D100.
78. I think that was a shield thing last time.
No, I think that was 68, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. Right. Well, you do your normal whatever, and then I'll tell you afterwards what you do.
Okay.
Ancient Mountain Hammer crit with Smite. Wow.
Yeah. $144.
Just can you also roll me a d6, please?
Oh.
5.
It also takes 5 dexterity damage as its knee is shattered.
Oh no!
I've been able to walk after this if it had. If it had survived, it couldn't walk. However, describe for me, as well as shattering its knees, how do you slay the final Goristro?
Well, Bracken revealed its neck, like twisting it. So Conrad just literally, with all his might, with all a smite in there, he swung it down. It goes through the neck, carries on down through the knees, through the whole body first, and just shatters the knee. They explode in what I can only call a Craig.
Yes!
Craiger damage.
The Craig damage. Right on the knees.
Right on the knees.
Oh, my knees are hurting with that.
Blow chunks, Gristro.
Chunks, bull.
Pussy.
And with that, the Goristros are destroyed. As you notice, their body and their essence seems to seep away. As you remember, demons return to the abyss upon death. And the ones here on some element of the abyss, their body melts away, and whatever spirit was lingering in there, were it a resident of High Keep or not, leaves to properly rest. Except for one on the I need to remember what the place is.
Is it the Twin
Paradise
is on Bitopia.
Bitopia, yes. Bitopia is really cool.
Unfortunately for that one, but 4 spirits of sorts, 4 souls have been freed.
Small.
And you can feel the world around you is starting to slip back into the Feywild. The essence of the abyss that was lingered is melting away. And you also feel yourself moving further away from High Keep as this realm seeks to return to where it is meant to be. What are you going to do?
Just pointing out Rob's comment in
Yes,
the chat.
we call it a culture exchange, yes.
Right, okay. I think there's a moment where I think we just stand there and I imagine it's tinged with the fury of Baphomet's proclamation that, you know, he's taken all these people from Conrad's home. His edict to bring misery upon us first before making his strike. I think that filled that battle with almost like a righteous energy and a defiant act where both Wizard and Crusader stood against whatever he threw at them and showed the High Keep. And he'll even say this to Conrad, the High Keep will not go quietly.
Definitely not. Hopefully those souls can rest in peace now. But I feel we have more work to do. We have to leave this realm and return to our own.
Yes. Let's move quickly.
Dun 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 dun.
As you make the journey down the tree, you find moving through into the trunk of the tree, you don't pass through echoes and memories. You are able to make your way straight down and through the Wild Watchers, nowhere in sight.
Damn.
The exit of the tree does not take you into Highkeep. It takes you to the land you saw when you first looked here. And it only takes you 3 steps. That first step, and the portal to the entrance of the Highkeep proper comes racing towards you. Another step, and behind you you can see the tree just almost returning to the position it was in when you first entered. And with a third step, a familiar light as you return. And that's where we will leave it for tonight. After an exceptional session from the two of you in terms of winning and getting lots of good rolls, and yeah. Where to start? I can't remember who went. The one thing I haven't made a note of is who I speak to first in these situations.
I think you've asked me
first last time.
Oh no, I thought I was first last time.
No, it was me, Robert.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't mind.
I insist.
We'll go at the same time and we'll just talk
Okay,
over it.
great.
So basically,
Rob and Bracken.
Me first? Okay. Thoughts at the end of the session. I really enjoyed it because it was, well, first of all, just some great encounters. Thank you, Michael. Really, really fun. Just some great enemies. To take it back to the start, I liked that we got round the Wild Watcher, did you call him?
Wild Watchers, yes.
I liked that we got round them. Because Bracken...
fully prepared that you weren't.
Bracken was like... You know, he was obviously like throwing his chest out and peacocking and, you know, oh, we're the Free Company, we smashed the Pale Knight, what are you going to do? That kind of style. And then it rapidly became clear, oh, okay, so he's bound by a pact. Okay, so when learning that, it was like, well, maybe there's a way around it. But I particularly enjoyed how you, Dom, Conrad, pulled something from your connection with the Fae back from the last campaign into this one to diplomacy your way around it, and then was gifted by the gods a 20 on the die.
There's quite a lot of 20s today, actually.
It's almost like you can tell the moments that were meant to happen, and that was definitely a moment that's meant to happen. Like, you were meant to be bestowed this gift from the Fae, and then that came back to help us here. That feels very Fae-like. I think Bracken even commented on when you first met with the Fae, and you were given that power that, like, it's weird that, like, you've been chosen as a champion in that way. Almost like your Lady of the Lake, in a way. So I loved all of that, and I loved how that echoed back to us. I really enjoyed seeing the Jester's point of view. Like that he was like compelled to eat the mirth from people. I like that. very much. That feels kind of Doctor Who-y almost, like a monster that eats joy. Like, just seems like something you'd get in an episode. And yeah, I liked that we got to see through his eyes. Though that begs the question: was he like hidden and like preying on High Keep without them knowing that? Like, but people acknowledged him, didn't they? They said, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Like when he came into the room and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe he was hired as a jester. I don't know. We'll have to learn, won't we? But anyway, I really like that, and yeah, really cool to face off against Bahamut. That's come back around. That you can't. Bahamut. What did I say? Bahamut again?
Yes.
Who is a dragon? I know D&D.
Awful good.
I D&D. I liked that we ran back into Baphomet, or rather we met Baphomet, because it just goes to show that what we did in the Abyss last campaign has not gone ignored. It's nice to see the repercussions of taking out like a huge figure in the pantheon of the Abyss, if that's how you could describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remove one piece of the puzzle, like or one domino from the tower, and then all the others come crashing down. So that feels cool. And then he was like, "I hate you."
Yeah,
I love that. I hate you, which is really nice. Nice to see that at least. Nice to see that we register. You know.
Yes. He hates
Yeah.
you because you're a threat.
Really exciting fight as well. Like, and I just thought, you know what? I have been trying to like hold back on the spells a little bit, but I was like, no, we just got to go for it here. Like, if we pull our punches, then it could go really badly wrong. So let's just go with everything we have. So that feels nice. Because when Bracken doesn't let loose, like he was even holding back against Jester, because I was like, maybe there's something else here. Like, there's obviously some other influence that's been mentioned. So that's why I held back initially in that fight, because I was like, what if whoever he was talking to rocks up? And lo and behold, I just didn't know it was going to be that. So yeah, nice to unleash for a little bit.
Yes.
And I talk a lot when I get asked my thoughts, so I will stop. Thank you for an excellent session.
Thank you for your thoughts. And then, Conrad, Dom.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed seeing through the Jester's eyes as well. I thought that was a really fun thing to do, and try and sort of work out if there was anything we could do, or whether or not we were getting the backstory, and then trying something without much hope of success with healing the old thing. Yeah.
You gave a chance for him to give a final word to you, which was quite nice.
Yeah, maybe he came back a bit from the edge. Maybe kept some of his personality to die, at least as himself. Maybe.
I mean, he was, even when he was purely Fey, he was still an evil Fey.
Still a little prick.
Yes.
And then I enjoyed the tentacle fights. Always fun to fight tentacle monsters.
I loved that spell as well. I found it and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
And the fucking Baphomet, who is kind of like, you want to be a bit cocky, but equally, if Baphomet decides to strike up a physical confrontation with us, I'm not sure we survive that. But we shall see if it comes up later. Certainly, I enjoyed all that fight. It was great fun being able to just completely let loose and do everything to kill them. Certainly, from Conrad's point of view, though, it's not over. I don't think he's just going to retire and have a happy little life on the mountain. I think he's ready to take the next steps.
And I look forward to seeing what those are.
Yeah.
Does beg the question, doesn't it? Like, where, because that like feels naturally. We've come to High Keep. We've broken the effect that'll wear off. What's next? Hopefully a rest.
I don't know about Bracken. Yeah, rest first. Don't know about Bracken though, but I think Conrad's seen a potential connection
Yes.
with the incursion, and he would probably like to go to the front lines.
Yeah, it's clear that there's influence there, certainly. Yes.
I think there's elements to consider. And I think with everything that happened today, and especially dodging the Wild Watchers, because they would have been difficult, and you used your Fey associations. I love that. Absolutely love that. I think we only have the one more left.
Gosh.
As in this little intermission campaign between the Regenesis of the Abyss, the Abyss, and the next campaign
Of yours,
I
to
think
point
there's
out.
only of mine, not of yours. Of my next campaign, I think we only have one more session.
Well, time to slow down then, Rob. We'll just walk to the next.
We'll just like.
We'll just do a lot of role playing on the way to.
Yeah, we'll like fight some bandits or something and start.
Keep stuffing unnecessarily.
Spend a session in a tavern, just talking to random people.
I'm down. Yeah. I'm so down.
So, yes, potentially one more. There's still a handful of loose ends that need to be addressed. But I will say well done. There were moments there I didn't think you were going to do as well as you did, but I will say you both rolled exceptionally well. So,
yeah,
worked in your favour near the pivotal moments. And I loved that when he was taunting you, saying maybe these are your friends, maybe these are your villagers. You then critical on initiative, and it was like, no, that was epic.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see what happens next time. For those of you watching live, thank you very much. And for those of you watching after the fact, we hope you enjoyed it as well. As always, please give us a like and subscribe. And as we always say at the end of our sessions, bone them rolls.
Bone them rolls.
Bone them rolls.